Muito prazer, chegou o novo T-Cross, um SUVW para quem valoriza conforto, tecnologia e segurança, com novo design e novo acabamento sofisticado. Vá até uma concessionária Volkswagen e conheça. Paz no Trânsito começa por você.
Interrompemos esse podcast para perguntar: quem você quer ser?
Designer, engenheira, pedagoga,
administrador.
Quer saber? O Senac EAD é nota máxima no MEC. Tem cursos de diversas áreas, com conteúdo elaborado por especialistas do mercado e professores mestres e doutores. Ainda tem o Senac Carreiras, conectando estudantes a vagas de emprego em todo o país. Saiba mais em ead.senac.br/graduação.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
If you really want to be one of the best brewers there is,
I stopped dressing all in plastic.
You better be brewing 5 to 6 times a week.
Every beer is made with love, and it begs to be appreciated.
I need something to kill the salmonella I'm kind of worried about in the eggs.
Do you find that that the hops kind of clash with the chicken embryo you put in there?
I might sleep here tonight.
It's a California king. There's plenty of room for both of us, Beavis.
How many of the brewers over there have seen your ass?
That's it. Someone's getting cut tonight.
All I have to say is, hey, McDowell, how you doing?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy San Francisco Beer Week. It's our first night of Beer Week here at the Hop Grenade, and we're excited about it. We got a full week of events, and we're kicking it off with Pizza Port Solana Beach is with us tonight. In studio, the brewmaster, as well as a bunch of Pizza Port beer on tap. Pizza Port, of course, has a few locations, so we've got beer from all over, but it's a lot of good beer. Devin's in studio with us. Devin Randall, thanks for being here.
Woohoo! Thank you.
And I'm looking over our beer list today, and I know it's not all of your beers. You brought us some other beers to talk about. But I'm going down the list, and I'm going IPA, double IPA, IPA, double IPA. You're going to get us drunk tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
what I'm here for, right?
This is part of the plan, yeah. A good guest gets us drunk. That's part of my criteria, I feel like.
I hand-bottled lots of beer, and then we've got draft from all the locations, so yeah.
Awesome. All right, so if you're still in the area, you can get down to the Hop Grenade in Concord right now and check us out. And we've got lots of events this week. This is just our kickoff here with Pizza Port, and we're excited to have Devin in the studio with us and some of the beers on tap. Of course, Beer Week already kicked off on Friday with the opening gala. I don't know what you got.
It was gay, so...
How was it, Tasty? You went, right?
It was great.
You always go.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You had a good time?
Yeah, it was a great time. A lot of brewers there, of course, to represent themselves. And,
that's good.
It's great.
It's like, what, over 50 breweries at the gala
they get a bunch.
Or something.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I like the way they do it, though. I like the venue there. It's a good spot this time.
Yeah, it worked out.
Devin, did you come up in time for that, or did you just get here?
I didn't even know about it until Friday. I think a lot of people from in-town went, but a lot of the people from out of town didn't get tickets in time. Yeah.
It sells out really fast, but...
It was sold out, yeah.
It's a fun way to kick off the event, because all the brewers go, and then you just get sort of a bird's-eye view of what SF Beer Week is like. By the way, it's SF Beer Week 13 days or some stupid thing, and there's 10 events a day.
Right. Fortnite.
It's beer fortnight, exactly.
Normal winks aren't 13 days?
No, apparently not. Beer.
I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
Yeah. By the way, Jamil's probably only paying you for 7 of the 13 days.
Right. Oh, he is the one who said it. A week was 13 days.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes sense.
That means, according to Warren, it's 1989 right now.
Yeah. It's 13 days. Yeah. You guys have San Diego Beer Week as well, right?
Yeah, San Diego Beer Week tries to kill me every year.
Yeah. Everybody has a beer week now.
It's 2 weekends. It was, I want to say November. I had just gotten back from Norway this last time, so I was like super jet lagged and jumped right into Beer Week. So that was fun.
Well, that's a good cure for jet lag, though. Just start partying right away.
Yeah, just jump right back in. It was great.
Who needs sleep? San Diego Beer Week's probably fun to be at. Now, every city has a beer week now.
Well, every city deserves one. We need a Concord Beer Week.
We do. I was just thinking that, like my hometown, Hesperia Beer Week. I feel like we need a little desert beer week.
I think Monterey has a beer week now.
Oh, do they?
Every little town has its own beer week. It's like a mark of being alive or something.
Monterey has like a brewery and a place to buy good, maybe 2 places to buy good beer, right? I mean, forgive me, Monterey, if I'm exaggerating, but I'm pretty close.
There's at least one brew pub that I know of in Monterey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's a great beer week for them. It's like a circle.
Yeah, and then 2 good beer bars, and that's about it.
I don't know if there's 100,000 people that live in Monterey.
There you go.
Yeah.
When I went to Bellingham's first beer week in 2013, they had one of the events was like a tap takeover, New Belgium, and I think they had like Fat Tire on.
On 7 taps.
It was like 1 tap.
We've got 4 kegs of Fat Tire, and we put them on 4 taps.
It's not a lie. They're all taken over.
Each batch is different.
Right.
You can have 1 month old, 6 month old, 1 year old.
Age, Warren.
Well, our Beer Week events are pretty damn good. I'm excited about it. It's the first Beer Week that the Hop Grenade has been alive, and so we thought we'd go for it. And I used to make fun of places for doing Beer Week events every night of the week.
Yes, you did.
That's now what we're doing.
Oh, good.
So I just thought, I don't know, how could we not?
Well, we took the weekends off. We just went Monday through Friday.
That's not true. We added a Saturday, Sunday at the end of it.
Oh, well, I'm out of the loop.
So, yeah, we didn't start the weekend with it. You're right about that, but we added 2 to the end.
Okay. Next year we'll go every single night.
Yeah.
You also make
But it's only 1 week, damn it!
Yeah. That's true. We stuck to 7 days. Thank you, Nicole.
You also used to make fun of bars and breweries who did beer weeks that weren't close to San Francisco.
Yeah. It's not San Francisco beer. I know. You just get
like,
sucked
Oakland,
in.
Maybe I remember having like Oakland was like the line that we drew, but like Walnut Creek, that's too far away. That's not San Francisco.
So maybe you're onto something, JP. Not only have I bitched about it, but we could skip Beer Week next year and do Concord Beer Week directly after.
Please call it Pacheco Beer Week.
Please.
East Bay Beer Week.
East Bay Beer. There'll be no competition.
No, because everyone will be like, what the really?
Yeah.
Everyone.
I bet we could still put on some great
Beer
events. Isn't there like a brewery now called the Yeast Bay or something?
No, there's an awesome yeast maker.
Yeah.
Called the Yeast Bay.
Called the Yeast Bay, yeah. And his name's Nick.
He's the guest on the next Sour Hour.
Oh, cool.
He's really cool.
Excellent. Okay.
Listen to the next Sour Hour.
There we go. So we can't steal that.
No.
That's too bad. Well, so we've got our show tonight with Devin and Pete Support. Tomorrow night, we've got Society Brewing Company coming in. You can meet Society Brewing Company. So 2 nights of San Diego, which, I don't know, for some reason we love San Diego. I don't like anything.
A lot of San Diego beers up here.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go drink other beers from San Francisco and other places, and I'm like, oh, but there's that beer that I can't get at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's from home, yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten some good San Diego beers. Yeah. So Meet Society tomorrow night. That's at 7. You're going to want to come out for that. We're going to have the guys here, and I'll do a little Q&A interview. Not locked away in the studio here, but out there in the tap room so that you can participate and ask your own questions of the guys.
Cool.
Then the following day, on Wednesday, we have a free gourmet cheese night.
Wow.
Like all free cheese with Whole Foods. They're bringing great gourmet cheese from 3 different creameries, I think. And then you can buy beer to pair with it. We'll have some suggestions of what you can pair with the cheese.
That's cool. What kind of cheese are you going to have?
I don't... What do I know?
Are Wednesdays really that bad that you have to lure people with free cheese?
No, not at all. Actually, they contacted us and were like, hey, we've got great cheese. How about we come give it away? And what do? You say no to that? You go, oh,
right.
No.
Sounds wonderful.
No, we want to pay for everything.
Yeah, no, please. No, let's stand with even white cheddar, and that's it. Just white cheddar, and we'll pay double.
Yeah.
You take it for free and then sell it here.
Yeah. So you're not invited, Nicole. You can go somewhere else on your Wednesday.
Yeah, somewhere that's really busy.
So we got a great night on Wednesday. Also, I'm speaking at an event at Ale Industries down in Oakland at their new, I guess it's Jack London Square location.
Fruitvale.
Thank you. The Jingletown Jazz Room, I believe it's called.
That's pretty neat.
And we're doing like a beer industry night.
That's cool.
I think I'm supposed to speak about
what?
The beer industry.
Owning a brewery or like...
how not to brew.
Business.
Bottling or...
He's going to wear his business socks.
Yeah. Should I wear a suit, you think, JP?
No.
It's business night.
I think you should go in a bathing suit.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Should I wear my suit?
Well, then yes, please do
Jay
that.
looks pretty great in a suit.
Thank you. So I should wear a suit then. I'll look ridiculous.
It was a great picture of Jay and Nate in suits grabbing each other's balls. It's pretty
Because Nate looks good in a suit. I couldn't resist his balls. He's a nice-looking man in a suit. Yeah. Let's see. Then on, I guess it's Thursday night, our event, funny, they don't taste Jewish. We've got Schmaltz Brewing Company coming in, and it's our Jews and Brews night, but they wouldn't go with Jews and Brews, so we had to rename it. It's still a pretty Jewy name.
Typical. They had to take over the creative side,
Yeah.
Couldn't go with our suggestion.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But we've got Schmaltz Brewing Company coming in with a bunch of their rare beers, plus some of their new beers coming out of the New York brewery. They're brewing great beer right now since they opened that new brewery out there. So a big Schmaltz event on Thursday. On Friday, it's Barrel Night with Firestone Walker. And so it's Matt Brynelson's coming in to share his beer from Firestone, but then also their new Barrel Works program. He's got us beer from that, too. I haven't had any of that stuff.
I think. Oh, you didn't have any of the Feral One even in the
one
bottle?
bottle in here. No, we had it in the show.
Did you share
the
one
Feral
of those?
Somebody had a bottle. You tried it.
Scott has a case in his fridge at home.
Yeah, it was sent for the show.
Scott's got the rest of it.
Yeah.
You'll get some Friday.
Right. So he's bringing up a bunch of Barrel Works beer, and it's still in the works. There's a rumor that Vinny and Russian River might show up, but I don't know.
He's trying. He's trying. He told me.
Yeah, he's still told me. I still didn't get a note. He's a busy guy during SF Beer Week.
Yesterday he said he's trying.
Yeah. Okay, good. So there could be one hell of a barrel night here on Friday, with or without Russian River. Matt's bringing up some great stuff, and then if you add in a little bit of that,
beer,
it'll be some good stuff. Then we're doing a little chocolate and beer for Valentine's Day, and then on Sunday it's our SF Beer Week All-Stars, where we'll take everything that we didn't drink up ourselves during the week and put it all on tap. So we'll have this killer, I know you're hungover, come in and drink great beer day on Sunday. Which I might do. I might just come sit on our couch.
I think you should.
Normally I sit on my couch at home, but we have a couch here, and we'll have 21 taps of pretty killer beer from SF Beer Week.
It's not quite long enough to splay out completely in a prone position, which is I'm picturing you doing that on your home sofa.
Yeah,
are you going to be sitting upright then?
No, I'll bring an extra stool to put my feet on.
An ottoman from home.
And I'll still be in my boxers. Yeah, everything.
No, I think it's cool. I contemplated sleeping on that the night before Winterfest, just so I would be here early.
You did, didn't you?
I really did.
You'd have to be in a fetal position.
Well, what I was going to do is shove it up against the wall so I had wall support. So
you don't roll off.
It could happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I have faith in you.
I might stay here all week. We have good events.
Didn't your boxer die already?
It was a pit bull, and I'm talking about boxers. Too soon, JP.
Too soon.
Whatever.
I just went and visited my dad, and he pulls out all these old photos of my dead dog. He's like, "Here, I found these for you." Thanks,
I was
Dad.
burn them, but I also found some tinder anyway.
I'm just gonna go in your basement and cry for an hour.
Just when you were starting to get over it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I just went back east to Connecticut. My Aunt Carmel, my great Aunt Carmel, turned 100 years old.
Caramel, like caramel, like caramel?
Aunt Carmel.
Like the food?
Yeah,
I don't know, Aunt Carmel.
Burnt sugar.
But I didn't even think about it. I met her when I was a baby.
Did you not hear about the 100 years old part?
She's 100 years old.
Amazing.
And she drove herself to get her driver's license renewed 6 months ago.
And she can see over the steering wheel?
She's fine.
Wow.
She stopped bowling every week when she was 98.
Quitter.
She's slowing down.
Yeah. She's amazing. And she's still, I don't think she's driving on the regular, which is probably a good idea. But she still wanted to keep her license, and to do that, you got to drive yourself to the DMV, which she did. And I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Does she have a big Cadillac? Or does she drive?
Not anymore. No, she did years ago, I remember.
I want one of those Cadillac cars.
And then later on, a big Oldsmobile,
Right, yeah. A boat.
I remember all that stuff.
A lot of smoked meats.
Yeah, I had a cool family.
It's a Fiat. Right?
They
smart car.
I had this great Italian family. They all used to live on the same street. They were their parents, the people I'm talking about, were all fresh off the boat. So all this first generation, it's kind of a cliche. My Aunt Carmel, my Auntie Lola, my Uncle Guido, I'm not making any of this up. My Aunt Gloria, Uncle Cappy, all these, they all lived on one street. They have photos of it.
Mafia.
They imported olive oil. Olive oil.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So, anyhow,
that's good.
100 years old. None of us are going to live to that, especially not Tasty.
No way.
We'll be lucky if we get halfway there.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I was middle aged at 22, I think.
No, that's probably true.
I knew you at 22. You were middle-aged.
Exactly right. All right. What else do I have for you in the announcement? So come check out our SF Beer Week events. You can go to the Hop Grenade Facebook page or go to thehopgrenade.com and you can see all the events right there on our page. I'm speaking at the Blue Bonnet Brew-Off this year in Texas. It's the United States' largest single homebrew competition. And they get some great keynote speakers. Apparently, they must have had a cancellation or something this year because they called and invited me. And I'm bringing Nathan Smith with me.
Nice.
Well, they do this thing where usually the keynote speaker, you do the keynote speech, and they invited me to do that. And then the following day, you do a technical talk on brewing.
Which is why you brought Nate.
Well, because they sent me the invite, and I don't want to disappoint anybody, so I answered honestly, and I said, I'm honored. Are you sure you want me to do the technical talk? Like, I can probably do something, but no one's going to go away feeling like, wow, we really learned something at the Blue Bonnet this year. So I was like, why don't you choose someone, from my staff who could come along if you have it in the budget? And so they wanted to hear from Nathan this year, and so I'm bringing Nate Smith along with me.
Awesome.
And he's bringing me.
Oh, you're going too? Sweet. Oh, we're going to have a party.
I guess we can all go in my
apparently, it's a really good time. I'm excited about doing it. I don't know what I'm going to do the keynote about. They said I can talk about anything I wanted as long as it's beer related.
Wow.
So.
Talk about like the rise of the Protestants in Germany in like the 1500s.
And then just add what style of beer would have been around then. And then go on about...
like the rise of polygamy and Christian sects of offshoots of Protestants. It'd be amazing.
It'd be great. So yeah, I'm going there. You can go to bluebonnetbrewoff.org. I think you can buy tickets. There's like a great dinner, and there's all these different bus tours. I think we're all going to go on a bus tour, Nicole. And
I love touring buses.
Drive us around.
They're so spacious.
Well, buses are nice, So go check it out at bluebonnetbrewoff.org. It's it's next month. It's like March 19th or something, March 20th. So.
Cool.
Bluebonnetbrewoff.com. Look at the picture they chose of Nathan, Nicole, to put on the website. He looks very aggressive.
Quality products. Great.
Oh, I killed you guys? Oh, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, look how handsome he looks. And by handsome, I mean he looks sick.
A little devilish.
I'm just about to tweet that photo of you guys in suits, by the way.
Oh, good.
And when we went out to
Nate is a handsome devil.
Kevin's,
all right, anyhow, go check us out at the Blue Bonnet Brew Off. Go to bluebonnetbrewoff.org. Also, we won the Brewing Network Club of the Year for the...
How many times? Because I don't remember this.
I think it was our fourth.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
In a row?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
We must make good beer here at the Brewing Network Club.
One of our competitors in the club competition, a fierce competitor, as a matter of fact, is Quaff, San Diego Homebrew Club. And, of course, the National Homebrew Conference is down in San Diego this year. And the Brewing Network Club would like to do, I've been working with Quaff on this, we would like to do some collaboration brewing before NHC to show people that, yes, we're competitors, but it's all about good beer. So what we're going to do is somewhere, I think on February 28th is one date and March 7th is the other. I need BN Club members down to either go down to San Diego or who live down in San Diego, and you're going to brew some collaboration beer with Quaff members.
Cool.
And then on the other date, we're going to come up here to Northern California. Some Quaff members are going to come up here, and BNers will team up with them and brew some more collaboration beer. All to be served at NHC this year. Just as a...
I'm going to interrupt you. Brew Strong is playing over top of the show right now.
Damn it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
You're just gesturing frantically.
That's weird, yeah.
It's really hard
the first time I heard you try to tell me.
All right, Beav, you don't have to be secret about that stuff anymore. Just get on the air and...
because everybody knows.
Tell me it's broken.
Okay, it's broken.
You're like, check Skype. I'm like, I'm trying. It takes me 10 minutes to check Skype.
Oh, okay,
what were those brew dates again?
February 28th and March 7th are the two dates. I don't know which ones we're doing in which place yet. What I need you to do, BN Army, if you're interested in this, send me an email, justin@thebrewingnetwork.com. Just shoot me an email that you're interested. We're going to team you up. I'm going to be there. As many of the folks here as I can get to go. We might do, I haven't asked Jamil yet, but I might try to do our brew day up here at Heretic. Either that or more beer. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But we want to brew together. And then cheer each other on down in San Diego. Maybe Quaff having a home court advantage this year might finally take down the Brewing Network Club.
That'd be great.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Either way, we want to brew some beer together and then serve it together at the National Homebrewers Conference.
Do you have any details on, like, is everyone brewing one batch, or we're all just kind of brewing together at the same time but not related and just kind of
We'll do
more camaraderie shit, or what?
A couple of different batches,
Yeah.
however many people sign up. One brewer
Okay.
from each club.
Oh, cool.
Teaming, up together. So however many people we get. Hopefully
Great.
a lot. I mean, I would like to have 3 or 4 beers.
How do you? How does the medal awarding work? So, like, if you and I enter with a quaff member, and then you win a gold, or we both win a medal, or something like that. Like, how does that? I mean, this is a long shot.
We're not entering the competition
with the beers.
They need.
okay, got
they
it.
need the points, so we'll let them have it.
Yeah, we're not entering the competition with the beers. We're just serving them either in the hospitality suite or during some special event or whatever at the Homebrewers Conference. So the idea is just to get together and brew beer and then kick each other's ass in the competition after the fact. So shoot me an email, BN Army people, Justin@thebrewingnetwork.com, so we can get this thing going. It's coming up. We're looking at one weekend, February 28th, and then the next one, March 7th. So send me an email. All right. You can support us by doing your Amazon shopping. Just click the Amazon link at the homepage. Subscribe and join the BN Army. You get entered to win $100 to the More Beer monthly donation giveaway. Our good friends, More Beer, they're the sponsor of this session and every session that we do. Go check them out at morebeer.com. Get all these updates more over on Twitter and Facebook. Send your show ideas over to Scott the Jew, Scott@thebrewingnetwork.com. Send feedback to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com. All right, shall we do some feedback quickly?
Why not?
All right, feedback's brought to you today by our good friend John over at Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com, and John can help you protect your trademark like he does the Hop Grenade. Here we go. Sent from my iPhone writes in, me and my wife had a great time at Winter Brews Festival. Cheers. Good. Thank you for the feedback.
There you go.
I had a good time at Winter Brews Festival. It was a fun year.
It definitely was. It was great. Great weather, too, man.
Yeah, I keep lucking out.
Yeah, well, I've been running my car without just idling in the driveway, trying to
all year long
do the greenhouse gas thing.
I think it's working.
I think it paid off, right?
I think it's totally working.
Thank you.
I feel like I should buy you a less efficient car.
Keep that bus running.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy my Bug one day. I'm going to buy that shit back.
Let's park our Volkswagens in the middle of the park here all year long, just running.
Yeah. It'll be like a little kiddie playground. Come and rev the Bug.
I'm telling you, it's like 4 years in a row, Tasty, right? At 70 degrees?
Days before, days after are shitty, but we get it right.
In January. So, well, thanks for coming out to the Winterfest, all of you, and we can't wait for more. Brandon writes in, I just wanted to give you guys some props for everything I've learned off your shows. I was able to land 3 medals this past weekend at the Upper Mississippi Mashup.
Nice.
Very good.
I scored a silver for both my double IPA and Kolsch and a bronze for my alt beer. Couldn't have done it without you guys, so thanks. Cheers from Brandon. Thank you. Brandon was our Song of the Year winner, wasn't he? Same dude?
Zeddies?
Yep.
That's him.
Yeah. All right. Brian writes in, where's the Sour Hour on the website? I saw it advertised on Twitter and don't see a link anywhere from Brian. Brian, we are building a new website, believe it or not. And of course, like everything else at the BN, it takes a little while. I have no place to put the Sour Hour, but you can find it in iTunes. Go to iTunes and search Sour Hour. It'll come right up. It's the only thing there. It's the only podcast of its kind, and you'll love it. And you can download it directly from there. Just search Sour Hour in iTunes.
Didn't we put it on Stitcher, too, or one of the other services?
Oh, yeah, it's on Stitcher
there
as
you
well.
Go. For all the people that refuse to use Apple.
Yep, and you can you don't even have to download it. You can stream it right from Stitcher. So just search Sour Hour over there. All right, Mashhole writes in, are there any plans to make a new brewing DVD? I purchased the Pale Ale DVD featuring Matt Brynildson and absolutely loved it. I've been waiting patiently for a new one to come out. We have a lager one with Dan Gordon in the can. We just haven't edited it and put it out yet. So, yes, there are plans for more. We'll try to get that one out quickly and then start recruiting new brewers. Maybe Devin would do a DVD with us.
There you go.
Probably would have to do some sort of IPA. You know, the IPA's coming out of
Clearly,
Pizza Port. Do you drink other beers besides IPA?
Of course.
Your gold medal, not your medal winners in the last couple years weren't IPAs. Yours personally.
No, Oatmeal Stout was a bronze at JBF, and
Nice.
Not this last year, but the year before. And World Beer Cup last year was a bronze for Imperial Porter.
Okay. Well, see,
So,
these are the
I like
beers
dark
we need.
beers, too.
Okay, good.
Do you keep those beers on regularly?
I brew them probably like twice a year, and they'll stick around for like maybe 3 months. So beers like that, yeah, I mean maybe 6 months out of the year.
Okay.
Kind of rotating.
All right. I have no idea how to pronounce this name, JP.
What is it?
Tpklebe. Right there.
Oh.
Tpklebe.
Tpklebe, yeah. No, you got it right.
Okay.
I think it's a Douglas Adams fan. It's some sort of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy character.
Okay. I don't know the reference, but Tpklebe writes in.
Sorry.
Hey, Asshats and Bevo, I've missed every Sour Hour show, being unable to tune in live, and I went to the website to try to listen. Let me guess, you couldn't find it. Just go to iTunes, all right? Jesus. Here we go. Damien from Sydney writes in.
Damo.
Oh, Damo. I'm writing this after drinking Jolly Pumpkin Oro de Calabaza, Calabaza Blanco, and La Roja, followed by New Belgium La Folie, and only just missing out on La Terroir, and Jester King La Petite Prince on a visit to our Houston office.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks.
If it weren't for you guys, I'd be completely unaware of this awesomeness. Also, I wouldn't have discovered Moonlight Mead and met Michael Fairbrother at a mead tasting in Sydney. So F the haters, you guys rock. Even JP and occasionally Moscow. Cheers from Damien.
Piss off, Damien.
P.S.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the Sour Hour on the website.
Yeah. Well, tell all those breweries so that they, advertise or something.
Yeah.
Tim Dog writes in, Hi from Pennsylvania. I just listened to the Society Brewing episode and enjoyed it very much. I'm a home brewer, and every competition I enter, I see People's Homebrew Club listed as the BN Army. So I'm sure you have lots of listeners on the East Coast. All that I ask is that you try to get more East Coast brewers on your show. Thanks for all the great info, and keep up the great work. We went through a string of East Coast brewers a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for new recommendations of tasty East Coast brewers. Not that there aren't any. I think we just haven't heard about any great
Yeah,
ones.
well, instead of complaining about it, tell us. Give us a list of 5. What are your top 5 East Coast breweries?
Send them to Scott@thebrewingnetwork.com, and we'll get some more East Coast breweries in here. I did nothing but drink East Coast beer while I was out there. I went to a brew pub, a little tap house called the Ginger Man in New York City.
Yeah.
It's, I think, a bit of a chain. There's some in Texas, too.
Right.
And, I went through the menu, and I'm reading everything, and most of them I don't recognize, and lo and behold, there's Pale 31.
Yes!
My go-to beer, and it took everything I could do not to order it. I felt like I would be doing a disservice to New York or East Coast breweries if I ordered the Pale 31.
Wow.
So I didn't order it.
Unbelievable.
Did you think, once you got it and took a sip, it would be like Obi-Wan dying, where, instantly everyone in the East Coast would be like, oh, my God, I felt this weird disturbance.
A disturbance.
Yeah.
I just felt
no one
guilty.
cares.
I just had a strong sense of
get out of
guilt
town.
that I needed to do them like they care.
Right. They're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It was really hard, though, because, JP, you and I talk about this.
Yes.
When you don't know the beers, it could be so hit or miss that I don't want to be disappointed.
There's so many new breweries out that it's hard to not be loyal to consistency.
Yeah, so if I know I could have this beer that I always love. Anyhow, I didn't do it.
And
I
were
wish
you
I could.
surprised? Right.
I had some good beer. I don't remember who it was from, unfortunately.
Did you get burned?
I did not get burned. I had somebody's. I had an East Coast Session IPA that I thought was quite nice, and I think I had an English Pale Ale. From the same brewery, from the same East Coast brewery, and both that I don't know,
Right.
and both were good.
It's victory.
Yeah, great.
Right.
I wasn't working, so I didn't take notes or anything. I just had beer,
Deschutes.
Yeah,
I've never heard of them.
So I wasn't working, so I didn't take notes. Remember the name.
Who remembers names? There's too many breweries now.
So many letters and shit.
Oh, it was especially when you don't know it. It's not like it was Stone or something. It was like
or Firestone Walker.
It was probably like New York Brewing Company. It was probably like the easiest. It was like New England
Ginger Man Brewing Company.
Yeah. It's called Auntie Carmel's Brewing Company.
That's probably the easiest name in the world. I don't know. And then Kate the Great had a Berliner Weiss from someone that I don't know either.
Great.
So anyhow, we tried some New York beers. There you go.
Wow, comprehensive breakdown.
Yeah. Some New York Beers Brewing Company.
Thanks for the review.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Brandon writes in, I'm sorry this is a bit late, but I'm an archive listener. I need to correct a nomination from the BN Awards. I'm sure that because you're good friends with Roger and have known him for so long, it's just hard for you to see, but not only was his interview not fit for Guest of the Year nomination, what Roger are we talking about?
Roger Davis.
Roger Davis.
Did we vote for him as Interview of the Year or Guest of the Year?
He was nominated, but he was nominated in the forum. So those are a lot of listener nominations.
But did we nominate him on the show?
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay. All right. I'm sure he did great. What
is this, the petting zoo?
But not only was his interview not fit for Guest of the Year nomination, he should have been nominated for and won the Douche of the Year award.
Oh, Roger.
Because? All right. He goes on, he says, here's a brewer with a relatively new brewery who comes on a beer radio show to be interviewed about his beer and his brewery, and he spends the entire time acting as though he's too cool for his own beer and refusing to talk about it.
Which I didn't get that feeling at all. But
what the F did he come on the show for? For that matter, why did he even brew the beer in the first place? If he had ridden up on a unicycle with a parasol, sporting a handlebar mustache and a beard with flowers in it, wearing crotcheted shorts with a suspenders...
That word is crocheted.
Thank you. He could not have been... I like crotcheted because I feel like it's like that's like open crotch, right?
Oddly enough, nasty. I do also.
He could not have been a bigger hipster douchebag. Wow. It's the only episode I almost turned off. So as a loyal listener and North Texas ambassador of the BN, I humbly request he be stripped of his nomination and he be named co-douche of the year along with you, Justin. You may now proceed to yell at me, Justin. All right.
That's compelling stuff there.
Although I thought that it was pretty much shtick when he wouldn't talk about the beer.
Was it, though?
He eventually talked about the beer, didn't he?
Yeah, Rogers is a big critic of his own beer. That's how his beer's so good. So
right.
That's why he's, doesn't over-promote his beers.
And the more you tell him you like it, the more he goes,
you're right.
I don't think he was a hipster douchebag.
No,
I do feel like he was a little difficult.
He was, but I think it's because, like Tasty said, he's really judgmental about his own stuff, and that's why he fits in so well here. Because I think we're all kind of like, we're very dismissive of the thing that we do. And I think he's very much that way.
It's also like his 8th visit to the BN,
right.
So part of it's an inside joke. I feel like he's just joking with us, and maybe that doesn't translate well.
Yeah, being belligerent's part of his deal here.
We should definitely just be happy we didn't see his butt that much this time.
Right. He kept his pants on.
It's hard to be in a good mood when you wear crotcheted pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it easy? You're looking at it all wrong.
Don't forget he was riding a unicycle, which makes more sense with crotcheted pants than it does crocheted pants.
Right.
Does it, though?
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I will not strip Roger of his nomination.
No.
He was a fun guest to have in, and I think he deserved it. Plus, he was nominated by other listeners. So, Brandon, thank you for your input, but I defy you. All right. Jason writes in, Hey, BN crew, I know you hate the ass kissing, so I'll keep it short. I started listening to the session about a year ago.
I'm keeping it short.
Listen to a lot.
It's a long email.
I listen to all the shows. Back to the archives.
Next paragraph.
One that I loved the most was Can You Brew It? And found it so helpful in making me a better homebrewer. I'm just wondering what happened to this awesome show and if you ever plan to bring it back. I'm sure Jamil is maybe too busy to do it. But thanks for the hours listening, blah, 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 from Jason. So Can You Brew It, we removed a long time ago because we were having a hard time getting pro brewers to come on and do interviews with their recipes anymore. And no one ever said, like, oh, I don't give away my recipes. They just sort of didn't answer the email. Right. And we did some experiments. Like, if you sent an email and you didn't tell them what the show is about, you'd get responses. But if you sent an email with the show, you wouldn't get any responses. And then you'd meet them in person, because I know most of these brewers, at least I see them at festivals and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I would bring it up, and they'd all go, oh, that sounds great. I love it. And then you send the email.
Nothing.
Crickets.
Right.
So we discovered that maybe a lot of brewers didn't want to give away their recipes in such a way, and we didn't want to make them have to keep saying no or ignoring us. So we moved the show to a new format, which was to discuss brewing styles and give recipes and talk about commercial examples and things like that, which is now known as Brewing with Style. Right, Tasty?
That's the new show. Yes.
All right. So there you go. So no, I don't think we'll be bringing back Can You Brew It?
I'd love to. It was a great show.
It was fun, right?
Oh, fun.
But, yeah, it just wasn't working out in the long run. All right.
I took a lot of those recipes and sold them to other breweries, so I love it.
Maybe that's...
I think it's a great show.
Might have something to do with it. I don't know. All right, and then finally Greg writes in, Hey, Justin, no talent hack, etc. I've been brewing and listening for the past year or so, but since I work as a courier and spend 8 to 12 hours per day in my car, I've been listening to the archives at an accelerated rate. I just finished the BNA 4 episode. It's a long time ago. Awesome JP freakout story.
I don't remember it.
Me neither.
There's too many.
No, on the bus, I'm sure, when Brew had locked him in the bathroom.
Oh, that was a good story.
Yeah.
It's been a great saga going from the days with Daniela, Roger's ass, as we were just talking about, weeks without guests, Angry Jamil, Sully's big head, and Cans. That's right, Cans. The first episodes with JP. And then Bevo. That's right, Cans, he says.
What's that supposed to mean?
Anyway, he's coming to the bar and wants to know if he can listen live. Yes, if you come to the Hop Grenade, you can always listen live. It's easy to do. You just come in, you sit down, we turn it on out there, and you drink some beer and listen to our guest. Like Devin, today from Pizza Port.
I believe it's Devona.
Devona?
Devo. I think it's Devone.
By the way, Devone is also wearing crotcheted pants.
Right.
I mean, she came in that way. We didn't say anything.
No.
Isn't your nickname Devo? Do people call you Devo?
Devo, yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Not
that's
that far
easier.
off.
Yeah. Devo, Bevo.
It's Devin, though.
Yeah.
That's not so hard. Do people get it wrong, though?
All the time.
All the time.
90% of the time.
What's the most common mistake?
Devon.
I was going to say Devon because you're a girl.
Yeah, and I'm like, nobody names their child Devon.
But there's one of the chef brewers at Drake's is Devon.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
And she goes by
One
T.
person.
Screwing things up for me.
People are naming their kids ridiculous things, and you're the victim of that, Devon.
Quickly, name the famous Devon in an 80s television show. What's the show? You don't get to play, Devon.
She doesn't know anyway.
I don't know.
The famous Devon.
Is it a male or female Devon?
It was a male, and it's the most famous Devon in 80s television. I'll give you a hint. Tasty doesn't know it either. David Hasselhoff.
Knight Rider?
Baywatch.
Knight Rider. It was like the boss, Devon.
Was it Devlin?
Nobody watched that show.
It was Devon.
And you didn't get my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference.
That's less popular
you
than...
knew Michael Knight's boss.
That is...
name.
Hitchhikers is far less popular than Knight Rider.
When was the last Knight Rider movie that came out?
I said TV.
I know, but they did it. It's more recent.
Still.
Is it, though?
Yes.
In a related story, you're old.
There it is.
Did you know it, Devon?
No.
Jesus!
Devin
for the
Miles
best.
is his name.
Devin Miles,
Yeah.
of course.
Devin.
He was
Of
the director
course,
of the agency, or I don't know what.
I'm not sure how many episodes of that show I've ever seen.
What was the agency?
Maybe not.
What am I, the oldest guy in the room all of a sudden?
What was it called?
What?
Knight Industries.
Oh.
You big dummy.
Whatever. You don't even know the
because Michael's
character.
last name wasn't really Knight, but he got reborn because he was close
Fine.
to dying.
No, you don't get to redeem yourself now for not knowing the most famous Devon in the 80s.
The most famous.
Yeah, he's the most famous.
Yes. I think he was the only.
According to one nitwit.
Wait, there maybe was another Devon. What was Magnum PI's guy's name?
Jesus.
No, it's not. It wasn't Devon.
It wasn't
like
Devon?
Richard or
No.
something.
That would be.
Is Magnum PI the new theme of this
Well,
show?
Thomas
Yes.
Magnum, but what was his boss name?
His
was
boss.
Robin. And then you had Higgins. But
Higgins.
he wasn't-
Okay,
it
not
wasn't
Devon. Higgins.
Not even close.
Yeah. Devon's a little snooty like Higgins, though. That's why I think about it. You're not snooty, but the name's a little snooty.
Yeah, my name is Devin Carrington Randall. I was
Wow.
like, that's the most British sounding royalty.
I like it.
Thanks, Mom.
We're in the presence of royalty.
I feel like we should address
Carrington
you by...
is a made-up word, by the way.
It's not even real.
There isn't even like a place or a person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just got made up along the way.
Yeah.
Someone was like, that one's not good enough.
Yeah.
How about we add Carrington?
Some Irish immigrant was like, all right, check this shit out.
Wait, what's the middle name?
Carrington. Devin
Oh.
Carrington Randall.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
like the most British
Devon.
possible.
Yeah.
And Devon is like a region of England. So British people find my name to be even more funny.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, that's like naming your child Nevada or something. Like, why would you do that?
Which has
People are
happened,
doing
I'm
it.
sure.
Tennessee Valley.
Yeah.
I know, like 8 Cheyennes, whatever.
I get called Ohio a lot.
Right. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, more from Pizza Port. In fact, all of the stuff from Pizza Port. We've got
Yes.
beer to
All
try
the things.
and more to do. We've got Devin Randall in the studio with us. Hang in there. 888-401-BEER if you want to ask questions. We'll be right back. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Do you support the Brewing Network? Do you brew your own? Are you looking for an economical, fun, and legal way to do both? Subscribe to Brew Your Own magazine and do just that. All year long, Brew Your Own will surprise you, entertain you, and educate you with articles on beer and brewing from authors like the Brewing Network's very own Jamel Zainashev and John Palmer. Each issue is a full pint of brewing techniques, homebrew stories, tips and photos, projects to make yourself, and recipes for the avid home brewer. Get your tough questions answered by Mr. Wizard and polish your style accuracy with Jamel. A portion of every subscription goes to the Brewing Network, so subscribe today at byo.com/Brewing Network, or just click the BYO logo on the Brewing Network homepage and support a fantastic hobby and your favorite broadcaster. Brew Your Own, the how-to homebrew beer magazine.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
You're tuned into the session.
Because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the program. I have a confession to make. I just, at the break, just right before we went back on, I found myself staring out the glass window, and I was staring at somebody's ass.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to. Like, I just looked that way, and I was like, oh. And so my eyes stayed there.
Yeah.
And then I realized it was Nicole's ass.
Oh, wow.
And so...
How did I know that was coming?
And I'm telling you, I didn't know it was you at first. And
I've been doing my squat.
you
have
have
at the gym.
You've been doing something at the gym, Nicole.
You don't
I
know?
looked up and I was like, oh, it's Nicole. And then I'm not going to lie again, I looked back down. And you've been going to the gym. Looks good.
I can't believe you don't recognize it just at first glance.
Just at regular. I don't know.
Most people figure out it's me.
Like, oh, it's Nicole. Anyway, just felt like I should confess. And speaking of nice-looking rear ends and other things, Valentine's Day is coming up, and Adam and Eve has a special offer for you.
I thought that's how you were going to intro Devin's interview.
Yeah,
we got Devin Randall in the studio.
I'm not that rude yet. I haven't had enough beer, Devin, so hang in there. No, I want to let you know about Adam and Eve and their Valentine's Day special. You can make this Valentine's Day one that you'll both never forget with this amazing offer from adamandeve.com. By the way, anyone could do this. Listeners here at the Hop Grenade, listeners at home. Through Valentine's Day, you'll receive 50% off just about any item in stock. Just go to adamandeve.com and you'll find over 18,000 adult entertainment products, including
so many.
Toys, lingerie, and seemingly endless selection of adult DVDs. Every time I say that, I feel like it's a lie. I can't imagine that there are 18,000. But no, they don't.
Because how many times have you accidentally watched the same porno twice? You're like, fuck, I've seen this one already.
And there's another 17,999. Yeah. But there's more. With every order, you're also going to receive the romance kit for free. The romance kit includes a toy for him, a special massager for her, and a little something that you'll both enjoy. Plus a free adult DVD, so you don't have to watch the same one again. And, that's just to put you in the mood. So check it all out. All of that and free shipping on the entire order. Go to adamandeve.com today for the special Valentine's offer. Get 50% off one item, free romance kit, free shipping when you enter coupon code BNARMY. That's BNARMY at adamandeve.com.
I feel like the toy for him is really just a toy for her.
To use? Yeah.
Probably.
Who even knows? I do suggest, though, if you're, if you haven't bought a Valentine's gift yet, and you're not the type of person that would buy things like this, I say fucking go for it.
Yeah, just
see what
it.
happens.
Right. What's grandma going to say? Right?
Like maybe you think, oh, my partner and I aren't like that, or he or she won't like it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Or it. I mean, let's
give it a go.
Be honest. We're in San Francisco.
It could be anything. Give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
See what happens.
The preferred term is Z.
I was talking to Kate the Great there for a second. That's who I was.
Right.
Yeah.
You mean Kate the Great's partner?
Yes, I'm talking to Kate the Great's partner.
Right.
Fire something good, will you? Jesus. All right. We've got Devin Randall from Pizza Port Solano Beach in the studio with us. And I want to talk quickly about the beer I had in my glass during the first part of the show there. Tell me about this beer. It's like a smoked beer, Devin.
Yeah, so this beer is a smoked version of our Chronic Amber Ale, so I called it Smoked Chronic, because that's what it is.
Can you put that on a label, or with the TTB shoot that down?
Chronic Ale ended up on the label looking like two words, but technically it is one, according to TTB.
Okay.
Chronic Ale.
And then it's fine.
And it's fine.
Really?
So they were able to get around that bullet, because, they were talking about that for a while, and they really wanted to keep the name.
Yeah.
So if you look at the cans or any label that has Chronic on it, it says Chronic Ale.
Okay.
And there's like a marginally larger space between Chronic and Ale than there are between all the other letters.
Is that
Very
kind of like
clever.
the Chronic, what? Owls of Narnia? Is that like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean...
That's a follow-up beer.
Wasn't Lagunitas, that was censored, was Chronic before it was censored, wasn't it?
It was just called Chronic. So clearly that's their little loophole that they found.
You didn't have to negotiate. You submitted it that way with the space.
No, they did negotiate a few times.
Okay.
And I wasn't really involved in that, but they did have to do a lot of back and forth to get it approved.
So Smoked Chronic, which I think is a brilliant name, by the way, is the same base beer but with some smoked malts, or what?
Yeah, and also a bag of red wheat. Not weed. Wheat. There's some wheat malt in there to give it a little more body. I didn't even think about it until like after the fact, and I kept saying that. And
Are you
people
sure it
laugh,
wasn't
and I was
purple
like,
wheat?
And you're like, what are they laughing at? It's just red wheat.
It's just it
was
some
purple.
red wheat
It was
malt.
purple.
You got to really hit that tea hard.
Why the bag of red wheat? What did that do to the beer?
Just to give it a little different texture. The amber ale, on its own is like a really simple, really light-bodied beer, and I just wanted it to have a little bit more to it on the mouthfeel side.
Okay.
To keep up with the smoked malt, which is it's about 15% smoked malt, and I used all beechwood smoked malt last year, and this year I added a little bit of cherrywood smoked malt.
Okay.
Big difference.
Yeah.
The cherrywood smoked malt is much more pronounced.
So your beer is aged on beechwood?
Utilizes beechwood smoked malt. So they're not the only ones using beechwood.
Oh, another lie.
Right. Was it brewed the hard way, though? That's what I have to ask.
Yeah, triple hopped as well.
Oh, nice.
And cold frosted or whatever the hell the other one is.
Frost brewed.
Filtered?
Yeah.
Frost brewed.
Yeah, we
Cold
also
filtered.
have a
that's
glycol
nice.
system and a refrigerator.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Sounds like you guys do brew the hard way. So, what do you think of your decision to add the extra smoked malt in this year's batch?
I think it came out a little more aggressive on the smoke side than it did last year.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of having a 7-barrel system. You get to do a lot of turnover. You can do recipes a ton of times and
Sure.
brew like 2-3 times a week. So, getting to do a lot of experimentation like that where you can just, tweak something and see how it goes.
And just go for it.
Yeah.
I think it's, not that my opinion matters, but I think it's a little heavy on the smoke. However, I like how soft the smoke still tastes. I think it's not a harsh beer. It's, even though there's quite a bit of it, you know right away that it's a smoked beer.
I think it needs more smoke.
You want even more? Yeah, I know you like this character.
I do too.
I generally don't like smoked at all, and I love how just it's very soft, even though it's also very present. In my opinion, it doesn't kind of beat up your palate at all. It's not the only thing I taste, is maybe what I'm saying. I still get plenty of other
it's
beer.
Like, it's smoke flavor, but not smoke experience.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of smoked beers can be you're like a mouthful of smoke, but this it has the essence of it without being too heavy-handed.
Experience.
Right.
It's easy to be overwhelming, so kind of keeping it restrained is the goal on this beer. And I think last year that the cherrywood smoked malt, if you're deciding between beechwood smoked and cherrywood smoked, the cherrywood smoked malt will go a lot further than the beechwood, and I kind of prefer the beechwood.
Well, I would highly recommend this beer to people who wanted to try a smoked malt beer because because it's not so overwhelming that you'd go, oh, God, what is all that?
Well, because usually you have like crystal malt and kind of more caramel flavors, and it's a heavier tasting beer, but this is very lighter. So if you still wanted a smoked beer like in the summertime or springtime or something like that, I think this would be something you'd go for sure.
I agree.
Well, and on the name alone, I think a lot of people who wouldn't normally be drinking a smoked beer have tried it because they're like, haha, smoke chronic, gotta try that.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Good marketing. Yeah.
So it goes pretty fast at the pub, and a lot of people order it that ordinarily might have been just getting like an amber ale or something simple anyways.
Okay.
Marketing works, for sure.
So it worked out.
Now, you hand bottled this, so I assume this is only available at the pub?
Yeah, only at the pub.
Okay.
As is most of my stuff.
If you're not super sensitive to smoke, you might not even pick up on it if somebody didn't tell you.
Yeah. It blends
I feel like
really
I go
well.
in and out of smoke sensitivity.
Yeah.
And right now I'm kind of like low. And it's like, if she hadn't told me, it probably would have taken me a moment to figure out that was smoky. That's, if you eat a lot of smoked stuff, it kind of changes your palate.
I think that's a good point because I am super sensitive to it. But I think that's what I mean too. There's still a ton of kind of sweet malt behind it, and certainly some hoppy character in there, even a little bitterness. So, well done. We got a few to try. You brought us a bunch of beer today, didn't you?
Yeah.
So tell me how you got into beer. What did you do before beer?
Before beer, I was in real estate marketing and sales.
Okay.
As was my mom, as was my grandma. So I felt like I had to try it.
Sure.
That's an interesting job. I don't know, to get into like a family.
The real estate
like
marketing.
Yeah,
side?
real estate marketing. I mean, usually I don't know.
They were in sales. I did marketing just as that's the first job that I found out of college.
Yeah.
That was gonna actually pay some bills.
Yeah.
And I did that for I guess 3 or 4 years. I worked for big companies, Berkshire Hathaway and Sotheby's, and
very big companies.
Yeah, so it was interesting being in the corporate environment, and being the marketing person, you kind of worked with everyone, yet we're employed by the company. And then on the sales side, excuse me, you're a little bit more independent.
Okay.
And I did a little bit of both, but I just had sort of one of those quarter life crisis things where you just nothing was going right. Like, I broke up with my boyfriend. I was stuck with this apartment I couldn't afford, and I hated going to work every day. And I was like, I need to figure something out.
Yeah, that's a crisis.
It's not going to be good.
So you put on the notebook, you drink some beers. And just,
I had homebrewed for a long time with the boyfriend that I split up with, and once we broke up, it was like we used to brew every month. So I was like, oh, it's time to brew, and I don't have any stuff. I could probably fix that for like $100.
He took all the equipment.
It was all his.
Oh, okay.
And I would just sort of like throw in the hops and like go to sleep before we knocked out and everything. Like, I wasn't like
yeah, the easy way.
Wasn't that involved in it, and it was definitely more his thing. But after we split, it was like I kind of missed it. And was like, maybe I could do this myself, and started brewing like. I don't know. I really liked it. And I started brewing extract probably like once a month, and then went up to all grain, and it was like once a week.
Okay.
And I was like, so at that point I was brewing rather than like going and hanging out with my friends. You know, they're like, it's Friday night, we're going to go to the bar, you want to come? And I was like, oh, but I've got this foreign export stout I really want to bottle.
Nice.
They were like, all right, see you later. And then I realized that I really, really liked it. And that's when I made the decision to go and try and find a job doing who knows what. I didn't know if I was going to be able to brew or be a sales rep or do something, but I knew that I wanted to be around it.
Where were you living at this time? L.A.?
L.A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shitty place to live.
Well, it's where I'm from, so I always have a place in my heart.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I was living in L.A., and I was thinking about moving to San Diego. I had one friend that lived in San Diego, and I went down to see her, and I was actually applying for a real estate job. But I was like, why not? I'm going to go to like Stone and Lost Abbey and Green Flash and see what happens.
You just went for it.
So I showed up.
How long ago is this? Give me an idea here.
5 years.
5 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been in San Diego for like exactly 5 years.
Okay. So you go down there and you're just going to show up at these breweries and apply, or what?
Yeah, I show up in like my interview outfit for my real estate interview. So I'm wearing like a blouse and heels and like a nice skirt.
Nice.
And I dropped off my card at Green Flash. I actually got to talk to Chuck.
Okay.
And Stone was not very receptive to me walking in. I had applied at Stone for like an assistant brewer job, and they get, that auto reply email. It's like, thanks for applying.
Okay.
So I went in and like tried to ask for that person, and they found me out, and they were like, leave.
They said, we only do this online.
Yeah. And then
I don't like those policies where people are like, "Oh, you're not allowed to come and make like yourself known."
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of no. We need to see you as a number first,
especially
and then we'll call you.
That's the advice you're given. Like, look, everyone's just going to submit online, so go there.
Right.
Show up in person, and they still told you to piss off.
Maybe it was a little subversive, going in and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm here to see like so and so."
I see.
Totally know I'm here.
Yeah, but still, and nothing against Stone. They can do whatever they want.
No.
But I'm just saying, as a practice, like at the Hop Grenade, we would never do that because I just feel like a person who takes the effort, because that's what everyone wants to do. They want to sit at home in their pajamas and send applications out.
Right, exactly.
And I say F them.
Yes.
So if you show up and you do something,
you should be fine.
You come on in.
But I wonder if the policy is there for jobs like this where Stone seems like they're hiring a lot. And so they don't want the people who are in charge taking the time out to come down and meet with these people, and if you don't have an appointment and all that kind of stuff. So it's I don't know, something like that.
I guess if it happens all day,
I don't fault Stone for it. It probably happens to them all day.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
So Stone, where else did you go?
There was Green Flash, Stone, and Lost Abbey. I met the head brewer, and I told him, I was like, I want to come do a brew day and see what you do, and he was like, okay.
Yeah. He's like, in heels? Are you going to show up and brew in heels?
He told me to get some steel-toed boots, so I stayed on my friend's couch, went to Walmart and got some boots.
Nice.
And some work clothes, and then I just didn't leave. Like, after the first day, I was like, okay, well, can I come back tomorrow? And he was like, I guess so.
Wow.
And I just started doing stuff around there, like taking out the trash or cleaning the bathroom. I was like, I can do that. And
Yeah.
people were like, sure.
Yeah.
So
What did you do that first day when they said, come back tomorrow with boots? What did you do that day?
The first day, 6 a.m. we started, and the first thing we did was mill in for Pilsner Road to Hellas. So it's all specialty malt, so you can't just flip a switch and have the 2-row come out of the silo. You're hoisting bags,
Okay.
over your shoulder. And for Lost Abbey's system, it was like 25 bags of malt.
Wow.
So it's a lot.
I bet they changed the brew day. I bet you came in the day before and they're like, hey, switch it up. We're brewing Road to Hellas tomorrow.
Yeah.
Torture this girl.
Yeah.
She really likes it.
High Heels is coming in at 6. And
she's really like dumping these grain bags in and it's going into a separate silo.
that wasn't even the beer.
Yeah,
They're filling the silo.
They just push a button and it's already weighed out and it just goes right to the mash tun. Like, they're going to totally fuck with this chick.
Yeah.
So what year was this? Just to get a timeline.
5 years ago.
5 years ago,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
2010.
I think it's like March.
Okay.
Yeah, of 2010.
So you're
So
lugging.
how many bags of malt did you lug that day?
Yeah.
I think it was maybe around like 25 that we.
Damn, girl.
Yeah, I can't.
That we threw in there, and I didn't know any better. I was like, okay, this is what it is. I remember I was like sore, but aware that it was going to be a pretty physical job. So
You knew what you were getting into before you got there.
I was willing to do whatever. So
Yeah.
like that was not a big deal.
Okay.
If they had me like cleaning out like the pit where all the spent grain is stored, that
could have been tough.
That was good that they waited a few days. If that was the first thing they had me do at 6
Yeah.
a.m, I might not have had like as romantic a vision of brewing.
So how long do you keep showing up day after day before you get hired?
I can't remember how long exactly it was, but I want to say maybe like a month before I was getting paid for all the work.
Okay. Wow.
What did your family say while you're schlepping grain and not marketing?
They're very supportive,
Yeah.
and my mom, I was working with my mom at the time, so she let me work with her like 2 days a week instead of 5 days a week.
Nice. That's cool.
So that I could follow my dream to San Diego and schlep bags of grain.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I think you had it made at a month. Bevo showed up here for 9 years before she ever got paid.
9 years.
Yeah. And we were like, sweep the floor and shut up.
You're right.
She was like, see, I'm going to my real job.
So, all right. So like after a month goes by, what happens?
So yeah, after maybe a month of like just kind of going in like 1 or 2 days a week, they needed help on the bottling line. And after a few days of that, I was like, hey guys, like this is really, I'm not learning that much.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get a little money for it.
Okay.
And so they started paying me then, and then they very quickly had work in the warehouse for me too.
Okay.
Although they tried to tell me they were only going to have me 2 days a week, and for any company that's growing, I was like, oh, you'll need me more.
Yeah, nice.
It's going to turn into full time.
Well, that's good on your part to know, hey, all right, go ahead and tell me that, and I'll stick around. You're going to hire me for more hours.
Yeah, I actually, in order to make the move to San Diego, I started looking for other jobs so that I could like supplement, the 2 days a week that I was working at Lost Abbey.
Yeah.
And I was applying to like every restaurant in the universe because that was my background, in college, and before that was beer tending and being a server. So I was applying at places like I didn't really want to work, but I was like, whatever, they're busy restaurants, I'll make money. And I remember I was getting just nothing, getting no responses.
Wow.
And my mom was like, maybe you should try something a little like easier, like maybe like IHOP. And I was like, I got off the phone with her and crying.
Oh no, you did.
I'm not working at IHOP, but they were going to figure something out.
I don't know. I hear the tips on free pancake day are really, pretty good.
They have 4 kinds of syrup at IHOP.
That was one of the moments of the greatest doubt where I was like, is this going to work? Like,
Yeah, okay.
Will I be able to make this happen?
Okay.
And I did find a job at Pizza Port bartending. So I was a bartender for like 3 months at Pizza Port Solana Beach before Lost Abbey was like, hey, can you come in all the time now?
Got it. Well, that's so. Were you working under Tommy then at Lost Abbey, and he's teaching you to brew, or what's happening there?
There were maybe like 5 or 7 employees at that time.
Okay.
So I would sometimes get to work directly with Tommy, but mostly I was at the bottom. I was like putting orders together in the warehouse and labeling, sometimes by myself all
Okay.
day.
So at this point, you're still moving your way up, even back to the brew house, kind of.
Yeah, I did not get to start really directly in the brew house at all. It was in distribution, so it was in the warehouse and on the bottling line on days that I wasn't in the warehouse.
Okay.
And from there, moved up to learned how to keg beer, and you just had to be after it. Just anytime anybody was doing anything, I'd be like, "How do you do that?"
Yeah,
please
excellent.
show me. And
did you have any kegging beer mishaps to speak of? Did a keg go flying? Anything?
Oh yeah, that is probably the closest to somebody getting injured, and thank God it was me.
Good attitude, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it was a Friday afternoon, and I think I was kegging off Frambois, and we were all going to go get lunch. So I think my head was just out of the game and wasn't focused, and I pulled a keg off of the keg washer prematurely, so maybe 10 seconds before it was supposed to come off, and it's pressurizing.
Okay.
This keg flew 30 feet in the air across the brewery.
Wow.
And nearly dislocated my arm.
Whoa. So it went right past you, basically.
Yeah.
Hit you.
Up in the air. I think I hung on to it for a second.
Oh, I
had
see.
one hand on top and then uncoupled it. It's upside down.
Wow.
And the pressure shot it across the room. So dislocating my arm, sort of. It went back in, but it was a scary
You could
minute.
feel it pull and...
I have an injury to that arm, so it'll occasionally kind of come out of the socket.
Okay.
I don't know, but it was.
Let's see that trick. Yeah. All right.
It was frightening, and fortunately there was absolutely no one around. Had there been anyone around, that thing could have easily taken someone out.
Sure.
Keg launched across the room.
So this was your pay attention moment.
Yeah, that was a moment of no matter what's going on, you really need to pay attention to the equipment you're working with. And, there's high pressure. You take off the wrong tri-clamp, you can empty a brake tank and potentially break bones or kill someone.
Sure, absolutely.
So that was a eye-opening moment of pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if you're just washing kegs and you think it's no big deal.
Sure. You got to pay attention to everything.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a moment to talk about the beer that's in our glass, and then we'll learn more about your brewing history. But what did you pour us here?
This is Whale's Tales Rye IPA. It's about 30% rye, mostly Citra hops, also some Amarillo and Simcoe.
I would never have thought there's 30% rye in here.
No? Mm-mm. Because you can't really taste the rye?
Yeah, it's not super spicy.
Yeah.
I would imagine a 30% rye beer
would be. It's definitely a little spicy, right?
A little bit, but not much. And I don't know if it's just a play on the hops or what, but it's great.
Yeah. It's also not very bitter. I really like that. There's a lot of good flavor in there, but I'm not getting any cat pissy Simcoe, so well done there. Love the Citra and Amarillo. Mm-hmm. This is a good tasting IPA. What do you think, Beardy?
I really like the rye for adding the body. It's got a really nice silky feel to it.
Like the creamy body.
Yeah, exactly. That 30% rye makes sense for that, or for that feeling, and I really appreciate that. And I really like Amarillo hops, so throwing that in there doesn't hurt.
Is there crystal malt as well, or is it
and
just
you love lamb.
Basically two-row and rye?
There's a little bit of Cara Red. That's
Okay.
one of my favorite crystal malts. Not a ton, though.
Why do you like Cara Red?
I don't know. It's just it's one of those malts
Works
that
every time.
Why
it's
don't
one of those
you?
malts that aren't super sharp and harsh. And I'm gonna totally get it wrong on what the Leva Bond is, but I think it's around 45.
Okay.
So Cara Malt won't. That's at 15 Leva Bond. That won't really give you any color, and then C77's a little too much. I found Cara Red was kind of right in the middle,
Got
so
it.
I use it often.
This is a beautiful beer.
How dry is this beer?
I like 2 Plato.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
1008.
It's nice, yeah.
Okay.
I like the hop flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk hop flavor for a second. It's very fresh.
Yep.
Very, very, I don't know how to describe it. I want to describe it as green tasting, but that doesn't make any sense to insane people like me.
Well, I will. It's 4 different kinds of hops, right?
It's just Citra, Amarillo, Simcoe.
3 different kinds.
In that order.
JP, I totally know what you mean with Citra is just like that. It's this
Citra's very
zesty,
green.
fresh.
Yeah.
It reminds me of... It's weird. It reminds me of Irish Spring soap, but in a good way. Or a tomato plant leaf.
Mm-hmm.
A tomato leaf.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can
Or
see that. That's a good
citrus or
descriptor.
citrus mint kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lemon
It's just
zest.
it's zesty, fresh, and just...
It's like you're eating this beer for some reason.
Yeah,
It's
there's
very, very...
When I close my eyes, I
Ethereal.
see that ice that they use at
Like natural ice?
No, like ice, like that kind of ice that they use at like the fish counter, like that, like packed ice.
Oh, yeah.
Like packed
Crunchy
with
ice?
like slices of lemon and like
No, you lost me
tomatoes.
there, but
I don't know. That's
but
what I
like
see
the
in my head.
description.
So
Yeah.
like
I like
fresh
it.
lemony zest.
It's just like
Yeah.
crisp lemony
it's
zest.
like there's like
Crisp
definitely
lemony
a
zest.
crisp lemony zest.
There is.
You should
To
consider it
Citra. It's very true.
very high praise, Devin, that JP is saying nice words about your IPA, and it is a
Yeah.
great beer, but
You
he's
really
not
should.
normally partial to this.
I didn't want to say it myself, but that now I had other people say
That's
it.
a really good point. I think this is like a really special moment that we're having right now. Can we just clap for JP?
Should we just pause?
JP liked an IPA. Wait,
Just
can we have a
no.
moment of silence? That's bad radio.
Just it's all right. I just think you
Last
should just
month-
keep drinking it so he doesn't change his mind.
Last month he was talking about how much he likes Celebrator. Maybe 2015 is the year of IPA for JP.
It could be.
True. What's the alcohol in this thing?
7%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
The three hops go together just perfectly.
Yes.
I think it's such a great blend. Is a lot of late hopping in this beer?
Yeah, I mean, this
What goes
one-
in early? What's your bittering hop on this? Is that the Simcoe?
Bittering is Citra.
It's the Citra, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then just a Citra again, late hopping? Too?
It's Citra Amarillo. So Citra first wort, 45 minutes. Citra Amarillo, 15 minutes. Citra Amarillo. And then in the Whirlpool, Citra Amarillo Simcoe.
Okay.
And then the dry hop schedule is basically the same as the Whirlpool.
Got it.
Those hops were just meant to be.
They are meant to be together. It's such a great blend. And I think that's part of just, there's nothing that really sort of stands out. There's no jagged edges. It's those hops just go great.
I've got a beer called Citra Rama, which is just Citra Amarillo, if you look at the spelling.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've got another one that's got a similar hop combination, but only
That you
Citra
brought tonight
Amarillo.
as well?
I didn't bring that one tonight.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll have to come
Had
see you.
it.
It just made me think of it.
Delicious.
Okay.
Actually, I take it back. It's delicious.
It's very good.
Well done.
Any special mash techniques or anything to get it? Because it's very dry as well. Very nice.
Yeah, pretty low mash temp, like 147 is what I'm usually shooting for. I think the rye keeps the body in there, so mash real low and try to get good efficiency out of it.
And is this just like a Cal Ale, or do you guys have a house yeast?
Cal Ale.
Cal Ale?
Yeah, we do have a house yeast, but not on this beer.
With that much rye, do you add holes or anything to help the runoff?
Yeah, I didn't add holes one day by accident. I forgot to order them. And
Rice holes? Is that what we're talking here?
Yes. Yeah, rice holes.
Okay.
And it was a slower lauter. That was the longest lauter I've ever had. Was that one? That was probably 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But with rice holes, maybe, gosh, I don't know how many pounds, like a quarter of a bag. You'll have no problems lautering whatsoever. Yeah. With a nice wide mash tun like I have. If you have a taller, narrow one,
I do.
Not.
I need rice holes.
Both are equally satisfying with the runoff right here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no one ever complains,
Right, yeah.
but I do have that problem. Yes. Absolutely.
Can I ask this one last thing before we get off of her history? So from your journey from, that first day after the heels to when you were actually doing something serious in the brew house, knowing what you know now, would you have done anything different?
I mean, it's been pretty fun, and I've been really fortunate with the direction that my brewing career has gone. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with everything.
That's kind of why I
can't say I'd make any drastic changes to anything that I did.
Totally, because you know how it turned out. So just, for people that are hearing this that are maybe doing grunt work that are wondering, man,
Oh, yeah.
I want to end up where she ended up.
I would say that I would be more patient looking back now. There were times when I was at Lost Abbey and I was like, why am I not brewing? I'm obviously doing a good job. I deserve to be brewing. And they're promoting, that knucklehead. And I'm like,
Right.
and I do way more work than him and I'm way more dependable or whatever. And then I didn't get to brew at Lost Abbey, actually. When I started brewing was over at Pizza Port. Once I finally had my own brew house, it was terrifying. And I was like, whoa, what was the rush? Now you have to be in charge of all this stuff. And when something breaks, you're the expert.
Right.
So how was it getting a job at Pizza Port brewing when you've been at Lost Abbey for a few years, probably, and applying for the head brewer position or whatever it was, saying, yeah, I actually haven't brewed commercially?
So I was at Lost Abbey for 2.5 years doing all sorts of things. I was
brewing.
I would be on the brew house for like a couple hours, but I was not a brewer that had my own shift.
Okay.
And I remember I had a meeting with them about it. I was like, what's the holdup, guys? Can I have a shift brewing? And they were like, we have so many other things we want you to do.
Yeah. They were like, hey, remember that time you were cleaning kegs? We're not so sure yet.
Yeah. I knew Yiga, who was then the director of brewing operations at Pizza Port. I knew him just through events, and Pizza Port and Port Brewing are very friendly. It's Port Brewing Lost Abbey, which is separate from Pizza Port.
Okay.
So
not even sister companies? They're connected in some way or not?
Please break it down some more, because so many people are so confused about this.
They used to be connected,
They're
right?
related. They used to be connected. So,
okay.
First location, Solana Beach, the brewery that I brew at. That's where Tommy Arthur made a name for himself and for Pizza Port.
Okay.
They sprouted a couple more pubs, Carlsbad, San Clemente, and then Port Brewing was started, intending to be the production facility for Pizza Port. So Tommy, left Pizza Port, but it was still part of the same company, Port and Pizza Port. And then they ended up splitting the brands, I think for liability reasons, because Tommy's a part owner in Port Brewing, but has no connection to Pizza Port.
I see.
So they didn't want people, having like an incident at Pizza Port that someone could sue and Port Brewing would be held liable. So they separated it, and then they grew, the additional brand of the Lost Abbey off of that just to be the Belgian side. But Lost Abbey, Port Brewing, all one and the same.
Okay.
Different packaging. And now they've even got a third brand, the Hop Freshener series.
Oh.
It's just IPAs. It's brand new. I haven't even tried the beer yet, but I think it's about to come out.
Okay.
So, yeah, Port Brewing, Lost Abbey, separate company, still very friendly. Like, we'll trade ingredients and stuff. But when I left Port Brewing, I had to quit my job, get rid of my health insurance, and start a whole new thing at Pizza Port.
I see. Okay. So, let me just make sure I have this right. You're at Lost Abbey first.
Yeah.
And you're not really brewing. You get a couple hours on it here and there. And then you go over to Port Brewing. Is that what happens?
To Pizza Port.
You go over to Pizza Port.
To the pubs, yeah. And then...
and start brewing there.
Yiga hired me to be the head brewer, and I trained with him for about 6 months.
How did that happen? How do you go from I have a couple hours of a shift here and there to, hey, Devin, why don't you come be the head brewer over here?
By kicking ass and taking names. That's how.
I mean, right? That's a strange transition.
I think it comes down to you can kind of teach anyone to make wort, but to have someone who's going to be able to take care of a whole restaurant, and there's a lot of leadership aspect to it. So I think that's why Yiga hired me onto that position.
Okay.
Not because I was making great wort already, but because he thought I'd be good in that position, and
he
was
could
like,
train you
"We
for
can
the
teach
rest."
you how to make wort." Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Good for you. I mean, that's taking a chance, I think. But clearly you earned it. I don't mean it was a gamble, but...
yeah, maybe a little bit. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go over there, and he trains you, what'd you say, 6 months or so?
About 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, on the Lost Abbey side, I was doing everything else. I was doing all the cold side stuff, barrel work, and everything. I just wasn't, super comfortable on the brew house.
Got it.
But yeah, I trained with Yiga for about 6 months. He then went to Bressy Ranch, which is Pizza Port's production facility, just to make everything more confusing.
Okay.
And then I took over Solana Beach.
Okay. But you say you were doing the cold side, and you were the cold side's the hard part, isn't it, Tasty?
Well, that's where everything happens for sure. Yeah.
And you were comfortable over there.
Yeah, the cold side is definitely a lot of difficult things, and you're dealing with finished product, and sanitation is huge. So I was doing all that stuff at Lost Abbey, I don't know if they have lead cellar people as technically the name of the position, but I could be there by myself doing cellar work, which is kind of how I look at lead brewers, being they can be there alone.
Yeah. They could solve shit if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. You start dumping barrels on the ground, and you know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess it makes sense if you're working in the cellar for so long and you can handle yourself there.
Yeah.
If you can take care of the wort, then you can make the wort.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
all right.
Makes sense.
So after a little while, you basically become the head brewer where you are now.
Yeah.
Pizza Port,
Exactly.
Solana.
Not just basically. Actually.
You actually become the brewer. So this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And now you've been doing that for a couple years.
Yeah, I've been there for 2 years, so 5 years altogether.
Okay.
Which is amazing. 'Cause
Yeah.
When I moved down, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work at all. This might be crazy.
Sure.
And yeah, my family would be like, so what are you going to do when you're done with this?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you don't understand. I want to keep doing this. I think there's
You
a
know,
way.
Wait tables at IHOP.
If it doesn't work out, there's always IHOP.
Right. So did you have a moment or anything with your mom or with your family or anybody who sort of watched this journey and maybe worried about you when you started winning, like when you won your first medal from this place? Or did people go, oh, all right?
I think my mom doesn't probably totally, and my family doesn't totally understand what it means to win a medal, which was awesome, by the way.
It means
I think
a lot.
I just blacked out the whole time. Like, I kind of remember hearing them call out the name of the beer.
Yeah.
And then I remember sitting back down and, like, holding, a medal or plaque.
Where'd this come from? Well, you should maybe think about drinking less. I don't know.
And there's pictures, and I'm totally crying. It's great.
That's right. And you don't remember any of it.
It's just like one big giant endorphin rush. Like,
yeah. It was pretty great.
The Pizza Port brand, and actually, let me say that a better way. The Pizza Port brewers have been kicking ass at the GABF for years.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are all badasses. We've been broadcasting the awards for almost 10 years, and every year it just seems crazy how many of you guys go up there. So it's really sort of a proud tradition, I would think, to start winning under that name.
Absolutely. And another thing, it's blind. Someone's
Sure.
not going to say they like your beer just because you're standing in front of them.
Right.
Or because they like you as a person. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure, though.
Yeah.
Like all the
Well, that's what I mean.
all
If
the
you don't-
winningness.
Yeah, like the other locations might start going, hey, Devin, it's been a couple years now.
Right.
But you won in 2014, you won in 2013, so I don't think you have to worry.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah.
The fact that it's blind, I mean, what a testament to how accurately you really can judge beer, and obviously the amazing job that Pizza Port's doing. Do you attribute that to something? The consistent winning? I mean, obviously the beer's excellent, but what is there an X factor in your mind?
I can't say. I don't know. I'm really not sure. I guess a lot of people were trained kind of by the same people, so a lot of us have come from in-house.
That's what I wondered, if you guys sort of work together a lot in that
and we
sense. Yeah.
always, if I need an assistant brewer, I always look at the bartenders really first, because I'll be like, they've got beer knowledge. Do they want to get into brewing? So I think that probably helps, just the way the company is set up, so that new assistant brewers tend to come from within and get taught from the ground up.
Sure.
We tend not to hire people who have had jobs at other breweries or who weren't, trained at least initially.
So now you turn people away?
Pizza Port.
When people walk up like you did and their heels and everything else, you're like, the application's online, sweetheart. Use the internet. We'll see you later.
Hit the road, stuff.
You gotta make some pizzas and bartend before I'll hire you into the brewery.
Yeah. I like that. The tables have turned.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, we made that a policy that we weren't gonna hire any bartenders outside either, that you have to have come from the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, except for me.
You're the last one.
Yeah, right. I've got mine.
Yeah. That's true.
Total hypocrite.
My friend Brandon went through that same process at Pizza Port. He went washing kegs, and he became he started brewing, and now he's off brewing somewhere else. They have this thing where they hire people and they teach people how to make good beer, and then they ship them off into the world, into the universe, and it's like they're doing something really great for the whole brewing industry. They are basically a brewing school. That's the way I would look at it.
I think, and I know this is kind of what Scott meant with the question, I think it's no coincidence. You guys are doing something right. And if you're cultivating this brewing culture from within and passing along your own techniques and making sure people know how to use that brew system really well, that's how you win. That's how you make some great beer.
Yeah.
Looking from the outside, there really is this like positive culture at Pizza Port, and like this like, you can start off as a dishwasher and be the head brewer one day kind of attitude, and they're dedicated to it. It's really, really cool.
I like it.
But I think that's just a really special thing about Pizza Port.
It's the American Dream Brewery.
Sort of. I mean, like,
I started out in real estate, and I moved to mopping bathrooms, and now I mop floors at a brewery.
Yeah, now I will mop bathrooms.
but Nacho had like a similar, didn't he start off in the kitchen, and now he's the brewer at Ocean Beach, right?
Who was that? Nacho?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been with the company, I want to say, like 10 years.
Okay.
So he's been there forever, and he's done every job.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, if you're going to do a good job at anything, if you're going to work at a brew pub, if you don't know every job, like, you're just not part of the team. And I feel like it's just such a cool thing. Like, I've been thinking about this your whole interview. Like, you were a bartender at Solana Beach. Your staff must love you. You understand their plight. You're not above them. You're in it.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I'm sure there's one bartender going, what a bitch.
Yeah,
totally.
I wanted to do that. Miss High Heels comes in here.
What's so special about Devon?
Were there any bartenders still there from when you were there for 3 months? When you came back as the head brewer, like, I'm back.
Yes, the general manager was like a pizza builder at the time.
Oh, cool.
And I totally remember him.
Is that the title?
Awesome.
Pizza builder.
Pizza builder. Yeah.
You think it's on his cards?
I'm a pizza contractor.
Pizza architect.
Yeah.
I do the dough
I'm a pizza
only.
engineer,
That's all I
actually.
do.
I'm the dough subcontractor.
I have a degree.
Sorry, this dough has a lot of moisture. We got to pull it out, resurface.
Oh, we need a cheese consultant over here.
You got the permits for that pepperoni? I need to know.
Well, Beardy, because we're still not sure if you're really part of the team, I think you need to mop the bathrooms tonight after the show here at the Hop
prove
Grenade.
yourself.
With your beard.
I don't think I am a part of the team. That's fine.
You're like, I'm good with
I would
that. Your
fucking
team
do
sucks.
it. I would do it, Justin.
See, Nicole's a team player.
Let's do it.
Right.
Go team.
Yeah, and I'll be the last
Shut the
person to use
fuck up, Beardy. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to try more Pizza Port beer from Devin, and we're going to find out more about Devin's career. So hang in there, 888-401-BEER if you have questions. We'll be right back. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Hey, Wooly, I'm beat. Can we find a nice tree to just hang out in for a while?
You're beat. I've been swinging through this forest for 50 years, ever since we first escaped from the circus. I know, but there's got to be more to life than exploring this creek and trying to populate the valley by copulating with loose, hairy girls.
Marquis, stop.
Look!
What is that?
It looks like a man-made treehouse.
With fresh food.
And craft beer.
Welcome to the Creek Monkey Tap House, boys. Grab a seat. Creek Monkeys drink free.
Awesome!
The Creek Monkey Tap House in Martinez, California takes their mission of fresh food and beer seriously. They only serve locally raised beef and chicken, as well as local sustainable produce. It's better for you and the planet, and it just tastes better. The beer and wine at Creek Monkey Tap House are chosen with the same care for the highest quality and rotate frequently to make each visit an adventure. Swing on into the Creek Monkey Tap House and enjoy a new legend of amazing food, beer, and wine. The Creek Monkey Tap House, online at creekmonkey.com.
BN Army, I'm here to talk seriously for a second. You all are partially responsible for something explosive, and it's time you answer for it.
Moonlight Meadery is exploding.
Yeah, exploding across the country. Wait, they just landed in Australia with insane quality meads.
With nearly 70 different varieties of mead on the market, Moonlight Meadery has blown up the mead category and completely reinvented it.
Seriously? What? Seriously? What? You're paying money for that watered-down mead when you could have a Moonlight mead?
Moonlight meads explode with quality and flavor.
They're a party in a bottle. Did someone say party?
If you want mead and want the best, you want meads from Moonlight Meadery and will accept nothing less.
And now get 15% off by going to moonlightmeadery.com/BNArmy and use coupon code BNArmy at checkout.
Hey, sign me up for that party.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Brewcasters are back. 888-401-BEER.
Whatever.
All right, hey, welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're talking to Devin from Pizza Port Solana Beach down in the San Diego area. We're drinking some of her wonderful beer as well. Thanks for bringing up all this beer for us.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Of course.
Let me let you know real quick as we talk about recipes and beer. If you don't have great beer brewing software yet, you should. You can go to beersmith.com right now and get the Beersmith home brewing software. You get a free 21-day trial, so you don't have to listen to anything I say. You can just go right now and download your free 21-day trial and see if you like it yourself. But you should know that you can design great beer this way. You don't have to do any of your calculations by hand. It does it all for you, even calculations you didn't even know you needed. Doc's doing an experiment right now where he's fixing a beer using Beersmith by blending one with another and calculating the ABV of the one to fix the other, and the stuff does everything.
Doc messed up a beer?
Yeah. I guess he had a stuck fermentation that he couldn't. He pitched and he pitched and he pitched, and he blew the house down. He could not. He couldn't get this beer to do anything, so he made another beer that he designed. He's going to come in and talk to us more about it, but he designed it to be incredibly dry, like overly dry, so that he could sort of blend the two together.
Huh.
And he used Beersmith to figure out what the new beer had to be to get the two of them together to be the beer that he wanted. So he's still working on it, but Beersmith does it all. Go to beersmith.com, download your free 21-day trial today, and I don't think you'll be disappointed, but you're not out anything if you are disappointed, which would be strange. Yeah. No one's ever written to us and been like, oh, hey, that Beersmith.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not angry so much as disappointed in it.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm just like, it was my dad that wrote that in.
Yeah.
Why have you guys been plugging this thing for so many years? It really sucks.
Yeah, I had my things in it and it crashed, and I'm like, well, fine.
We've never heard it. All right, Devin, what's in our glass now? Now we've got one of these so-called dark beers in our glass.
This is May the Port Be With You, which was named by the San Clemente brewer. They have a Star Wars day up there, and all of the brewers are like mega into Star Wars.
Weird.
And although I like Star Wars, I was like, you name it, because I'm not going to be able to come up with something cool.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't restrained my Star Wars joke earlier.
See? All right, so tell us about the beer.
So this is Imperial Porter, and it kind of grew out of the first recipe that I was allowed to write by myself at Ocean Beach. That beer's called 6.9, and it kind of named itself. The starting gravity was 1069, and it dried out to 6.9%.
Nice.
I was like, aha, you named yourself.
Yeah.
And it was a hoppy porter at about 7%, 6.9%. And I was like, oh my God, it's my chance. I get to enter that into GABF.
Nice.
There's no category that fits a hoppy 7% porter.
Okay.
Like robust porter is going to be like medium to low hops, and this one was definitely like highly hops. A lot of Centennial.
So what'd you do?
So I ups the ABV, kept a lot of components of the recipe the same. And in this style, you are allowed to have some strong hop presence. This beer now is, I'm not sure if this is from this GABF or the GABF before.
Okay.
This might be 2013, May the Port Be With You.
You mean this particular bottle of beer?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because
okay.
this one I just grabbed out of my, stuff that I had bottled for competitions past.
It tastes aged for sure.
It does
It's got
taste
that molasses
aged.
thing going on.
So I'm kind of thinking this might be the 2013 version, which would have been not the one that won. But
it's great.
Nonetheless.
It's a little spicy. You taste a little bit of the alcohol. I don't know that I would have guessed that it's aged. I think it's awesome.
Hey, Tasty, haven't you talked about Janet's being kind of straddling categories like hoppy brown, hoppy porter?
Yeah, like I bet you could have put the this beer as is, not a robust porter. It's too big for that.
Too big. Yeah, it's like 9.5%.
But the hopping level could have been in there, but not the alcohol.
The hopping level may have disappeared at this point,
Yeah,
but when it's fresh, it's a pretty
much more
hoppy
hop forward.
beer. Yeah.
There's this really awesome, intense marshmallow kind of aroma to it. It's really nice.
Yeah. I love this beer.
Super chewy.
So you mentioned that it's kind of based off the first recipe that you got to write. Can we talk about that? Like, how did you feel about that? Did they come to you and go, all right, now you got to write a recipe? How did you know how to do it at that point?
I had written, a few recipes homebrewing, but for this one, I wanted to do something a little more complicated. Dark is always forgiving.
Okay.
And I kind of based it off of a beer that I really liked that I had brewed there called Able, and that's American Stout.
Okay.
So I had kind of a baseline to go off of. And any pizza port has all the records from... I have them all the way back to 1999.
Wow.
So if I want to look up, some different recipes that will work on my system now, I have a huge library to choose from.
Okay.
And in Ocean Beach, I kind of did the same thing. I took that American Stout recipe, modified it, put some different things in it that I wanted to see in the beer to make 6.9. And, of course, went home and did a bunch of research and got 12 different porters and bought the porter book and was let's get serious about this one particular style.
Good. So that's what I was going to ask, too, if you bought books, and you did. You got the porter book. And
Yeah.
Because, so to me, I could definitely look at old recipes and see what works on the system. But part of what fascinates me so much about beers I really like your IPA earlier when we're talking about how well those hops work together, is really knowing the ingredients. So you might look at these past recipes but want to add some new ingredients to it, and I don't know how they work together. I would worry, is this ingredient really going to work? And then how much of it am I supposed to use? This is the part that fascinates me about writing recipes, is making this stuff work together.
Sometimes you, push the limits a little and, can be a little scary using 30% rye, or I did a beer with 41% rye recently.
Okay.
Pushing the limits, and you kind of know what'll work. I've, not felt the need to do, small scale batches too much, because I'm fairly certain that this is going to work.
So you're not brewing 5 gallons at home every time you go brew on the 7 barrel that you brew on, right?
Yeah, it would have to be, something that I was thinking wouldn't work.
Okay.
For me to take it home and homebrew it.
Got it.
It's a little bit harder to homebrew when you do it all week. I haven't gotten around to it as much as I used to.
When's the last time you homebrewed? We won't judge you.
Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah. Get out.
Oh, you
wow.
suck.
Yeah.
That show's over.
Really? You were cool up until right now.
Yeah.
That's almost the last time I homebrewed, too, by the way.
I think I homebrewed. I don't have any drainage at my house, so if I homebrew, it's going to be at the brewery.
Oh, yeah.
Which kind of feels like
Well,
it
you're
defeats the purpose.
Then just brew.
Then spending
It's your pilot system.
Right. And it's a whole day at work that you should be spending not at work. So it's gotten a little bit harder to homebrew.
Do you pretty much have autonomy in the brew house? You can brew whatever beers you want?
Yeah. Pizza Port is super great about that. They ask what you did last week, not what you're going to do next week.
Nice.
So they want to keep record of everything, but they really won't tell you can't brew something or you can't try something. If it becomes prohibitively expensive, they might say something, but I've never gotten to that point yet. So
yeah,
who do the next limit I push? How much money can I spend on a batch?
Who do you answer to in cases like that?
We kind of all self-regulate. When Iga left, we didn't replace Director of Brewing Operations, so we all kind of work together at this point. Gina really is the one I would answer to.
Damn, Gina.
And what's her
Gina
title?
Marsaglia is the owner of the company, Gina and Vince, and Gina is really the one who's there.
And they're still very
every
involved.
day. Yeah, she's at Bressy Ranch every day. So if there's an issue, I'll hear it from Gina, or if it's like a finance issue, I'll hear from the finance guy.
Okay.
So there's a few different people working there now. It's become a bigger company in the past couple years.
So do you guys purchase ingredients together and establishing hop contracts and all that stuff? Just all the brewers get together?
Yeah, so the head brewer, Sean Farrell, he's at Bressy Ranch. He negotiates our hop contracts and...
Bressy
Ranch. He does all the negotiating for that stuff. And we just kind of submit what we want, and he'll tell us what he was able to get. And if we need to come back and be like, no, I need those hops, like, you've got to go back and ask again, he would.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, we, as the pub brewers, get to kind of just order things from Bressy. It's become like... It's like the mothership.
Yeah.
Has all the ingredients.
Can we just talk about the name Bressy Ranch for a
Bressy
second?
Ranch.
Oh my God, Bressy. Like, Bressy is like that bitchy girl you knew from high school. Like, oh my God, Bressy, I can't believe you just did that. Oh my God.
Is it a location? Is it like...
It's East Carlsbad, and nobody really knows where it is. So.
Okay. So it actually is
It's
like...
next door to a mega church.
Oh,
is
it
where
is?
it is, yeah.
And the church, yeah, they're a little strange. They love to use the parking lot at Bressy Ranch, and then they like forbid everyone. There's signs up all over the place, like no pizza port parking.
Oh, but they'll use your interesting.
But they like to use our parking lot.
Well, they have Jesus on their side.
Yeah, they have a mandate from the Lord. It's,
Bressy. Oh my
They
God.
have bigger cars, yeah.
Oh my God, Bressy.
So I've seen pictures of you in the brewery, and it seems like you're always like in some weird position, like reaching over.
Yeah.
It's a really small space, I take it.
I was wondering where Tasty was going with this, but now that I see, I'm relieved.
From my live video cam that I have set up in the brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see pictures of the brewery, or if you go to Pizza Port, you can see the brewery. It's pretty small, and it's kind of built on top of itself.
That's right.
So that you're always climbing up and down ladders, and it's really, really close to the customers, which can be a bad thing. It's nice to get feedback and to be able to talk to people. It's kind of annoying when you're like mid-pitching yeast out of a bucket, and someone comes up and they're like, what's that? And they want to come stick their finger in it, and you're like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
So it's not behind like a glass wall. It's in the...
There's like a counter, like a bar that you eat at, and then my fermenters.
Oh, right.
And I have topped manways, so anytime I want to do anything with those manways, I have to like... Pardon me, can you move somewhere else? Like, clean off whatever they were doing.
Oh, no.
Leap onto the countertop and then do stuff with, like, an audience. Because people are always wondering what you're doing.
I want to come watch now that you put it this way.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 5
pictures,
days a week I'm there until... I try to get my yeast pitching done before the restaurant opens at 11.
Okay.
So that's usually my goal. If I
There you
come in
go.
at, like, 5 or 6 o'clock, I can get that done. But
That would terrify me.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, and I bet when
it's a whole batch of beer right there.
Yeah. Well, I bet when they built it, it's like, oh, we're going to do it's going to be a show, and it's going to be a draw. People are going to come in to like watch you brew. But as a brewer, you're like, fuck that shit. There's no
you're
way.
so on display, and so
Yeah.
much so that people don't even know that you're brewing. So they'll be like, "My kid threw up over there. Can you clean it?" And I'll be like, just one second. Like,
get your mop out of the closet, go for it.
They're like, I mean, it looks like the same stuff that's blowing off into that bucket. So clearly, you're the puke cleaner.
Yeah.
Or my least favorite is when children come and ask me why the game ate their quarters. I'm like, I have no idea.
Because your daddy
I have
touches
no
himself.
idea. Because I'm so close. I'm the first person they can grab, and I'm alone. And the kitchen staff is kind of a little more separate, so they tend to come out.
Are they crying?
Now
Sometimes.
You need to have a
Punt their little
jumpsuit.
butts out of there.
Now I'm seeing why they gave her this job. I feel like they were like, hey, just give it to Devin. It sucks. She's going to have to deal with the little shitheads losing their quarters.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Nobody wants this brewing job.
Give her a bucket of
promoting the
sawdust,
glass
it'll be fine.
ceiling once
Yeah,
again.
Yeah. Just give it to Devin. She'll do fine. She's the nicest one. She can deal with people.
I was the nicest one.
Now
It's
you're
changed me forever.
Now you're snapping.
That's what happened to Bevo. She was the nicest one to come and do the job.
Yeah.
And now she's boned.
Now she's like, shut up, JP.
Yeah.
I've heard Bevo used to be
I
nice.
actually saw a Yelp review, so the brewer's kind of a bitch.
Oh, no.
That's when you know you have won.
Wow.
It's all
yeah,
right.
you knew. You're like, I must have been pitching at that time.
She wouldn't let me put my finger in her yeast.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch whatever was happening. And,
That's disgusting.
yeah, that would get old after a little while, I guess.
So it's a real test of your patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many fermenters do you guys have there?
3 singles and 1 double.
And then at the pub, do you serve mostly off of bright tanks or
Yeah,
not
I've got
kegs?
Grundys, and they're kind of they're old serving tanks. I'm not sure how old these tanks are, but the company that manufactured them went out of business in the late 50s.
Wow. Hitler built these tanks, I think. Yeah.
Precursor to the Volkswagen.
Well, they're still working well. You know.
Yeah.
They built it
No, there's
nicely.
a lot of them in circulation. No,
There
they
are,
work
yeah.
well for what they do.
Yeah. So I've got 11 Grundys downstairs.
And those are basically serving tanks.
Those are serving tanks. Yeah,
Okay.
we've got to push. It might be about 40 feet of line, and it's upstairs.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot of pressure. We've got to use about 22 psi to get the beer to come out at the
Wow.
proper rate, so the carbonation doesn't either break out or make it foamy.
So you have to do like a nitro CO2 mix to push that distance?
Nitro CO2 mix for sure. Yeah.
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 And what about...
They just texted me. They're like, the nitro's out. I was like,
Oh.
I already ordered it.
Don't worry. Shut up. It's coming.
Yeah.
What about so that's a long length of line to keep clean, too. Do you guys have
Yeah.
to change those out or just a really...
We can't change them out
You
because
can't?
they snake around the building.
Wow. Was it
Lovely.
built? Was it built this
Wow.
way? Did Pizza Port build it this way? Or?
It is it is the original Pizza Port.
Okay.
They didn't really intend to have. I mean, when they first acquired the restaurant in 1987, they opened. They just had it as a pizza restaurant,
Okay.
and they happened to have a bar, and they liked good beer, so they served good beer. Then the brewery went in 1992, so they didn't build the building. I think the building's from the 20s.
Okay.
So they didn't really have a choice in how it was going to be set up initially, and they just squeezed things in where they could. And the brewery is very obvious that like it's got put in after the fact. Otherwise, you probably would have structured it.
Solana Beach is itty bitty. Like, it's 2 blocks away from the beach, but it faces eastward.
I think it's the only one I've been to, actually. I'm trying to remember now, but I think it's the only Pizza Port I've been to. is Solana
What's
Beach.
really great is it's right at the train station.
Yeah.
So you can literally be like, oh, I have 15 minutes. I'm going to go slam a couple of Devon's awesome beers and then
Perfect,
catch the
yeah.
coaster. It's pretty sweet.
It is really
But
convenient.
isn't your brewery like sunken?
It's about
in?
5 feet sunken into the ground. There's a ladder there now, but for a long time, people were jumping up and down from the platform on
Wow.
this empty keg. And I was like, why isn't it at least full of water or something so it doesn't tip over?
Yeah.
And they went,
Wow.
You got a point there.
This one's onto something.
She's
the new head brewer.
Is that the one with the plank?
Yeah.
That's the one with the...
And
Well,
that-
didn't some guy fall and almost bust his back?
You guys got in trouble.
something like
I've heard
that.
of one of our bartenders falling, but she
Yeah.
was off the clock and was having beers there. So it was kind of
okay.
So that doesn't count.
Pizza Port is not OSHA's favorite. Let's put it that way.
Don't say those words.
We don't know that.
I don't want any visits from OSHA.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, in their brew house,
grandfathered
they
in.
have like two by fours to instead of
Yeah.
most breweries have a catwalk
They
with
did have-
railings.
How
and all
many
that kind of
2x4s
shit.
do you need?
It's
There's
Yeah,
two.
I
just
mean,
2x4
really?
to walk across as you're brewing.
They did have
It's
a
an
piece
IQ
of wood.
test.
Now it's actually like a platform.
Oh,
It got-
okay,
it got
okay.
built.
All right, got it.
Scaffolds, that you can build yourself from
Well,
Home
that's
Depot
good.
or something. But before I heard it was even sketchier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tommy came and brewed one day. We did the original Hop 15 recipe, which is just crazy. The original recipe. They truly picked the hops out of a hat. It was
Oh, really?
so out of order. It was like Magnum in the whirlpool and check
Oh, no,
sauce
honey.
at 2 hours. That was a crazy brew, but he
Wow.
told us lots of stories of the way things used to be, and
Oh, yeah.
and how much better it is now.
Now I'm sure it's totally OSHA approved and safe. Good.
For sure, yeah.
Let's talk about the beer that's in our glass now so we can learn about this one, too. What'd you pour us?
Okay, this is Santa's. Santa's Little Helper. So totally ties in with Tommy. Port Brewing makes a beer called Santa's Little Helper. And they're totally, completely different beers. So this is, dark beer that's super fresh.
So good.
I brewed this recently. And it's funny, when I got to Solana Beach, I was told by the previous brewer, it's like, well, the only things that you have to brew are Mike's Pale Ale, and that's for the man who taught Tommy how to homebrew back in the day, and Santa's. And I was like, why? And he was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Especially because Santa's, they are different companies, different brands now, but for some reason you're supposed to always make Santa's.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not the same recipe.
Not at all. No, I just completely redid it.
Are they going to sue one another? That's going to happen in 5 years.
Santa's other little
That'd be great.
Second.
So what is the beer itself?
This is Imperial Stout.
Okay. What's the ABV on it?
ABV 8.5%.
It doesn't.
That is the sweet spot for Imperial Stout. I love you so much.
I was gonna. The reason I asked is because I was gonna
It's hard to
say
fit more grain in the mash tun.
Oh, right.
For like a big dark beer like that, I have pictures of me with the grain just about to overflow.
Nice.
And I was like, mash tun selfie.
Right here.
Jay, did you think it was higher or lower?
Lower. The reason I asked first because I didn't want to sound like a dummy. I was gonna go, oh, this is much lower alcohol than the last one. But
Probably
maybe
like
it's just
1%
my
lower.
perception. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it has a little bit of. Again, there's a little spice to it. Kind of a cola note that I really like. And
like RC or Dr. Pepper?
Definitely like RC.
Thank you.
Actually, maybe even Tab.
Oh,
really?
Like sugar-free.
I'm getting Jolt.
Get more vanilla Coke.
It's like a really nice cola, but some of that sweetness was making me think, oh, this one's much lower alcohol, which I appreciate. Actually, I appreciate that it has a lot of alcohol, and I don't taste it. That's what I like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty mellow.
Sneaky.
Yeah, I like a sneaky alcohol beer. This is great. What do you think of this one, Nicole?
I'm super into this beer.
Yeah,
yeah, it's really that. I love Imperial Stout in general, but
Okay.
I like one that I can drink a whole glass of.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
doesn't taste real like thick
Not
and coating.
overwhelming. Yeah, it's not.
It's not very viscous.
The mouthfeel. I mean, there's a full mouthfeel,
Yeah.
but it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you can't have an overwhelming mouthfeel if you don't have the alcohol to kind of clean that up. So, but it's one that you can actually enjoy. I feel like a lot of Imperial Stouts go so far that I can't even distinguish the flavors anymore. And this one, I can still pick everything out. I can still discern the hop flavors. I can still discern the bitterness. And it's just really a lovely beer.
Some of it, that lack of viscous, so that it's not too much, almost just seems as simple as the carbonation. Like it's just got a nice strong
Probably.
carbonation.
Carbonation's pretty high.
It's
for
pretty high,
Imperial
right?
Stout.
Yeah, which is always just me guessing. So
I think
Good job.
I think you guessed right. Yeah,
good guess.
So thank you. Yeah.
because maybe it's just helping to lift it off the palate a little bit. But even still, it doesn't have that very. Well, I don't know what other word to use than viscous. That sort of very oily flavor that can often happen.
motor oil.
Yeah, because I'm not a big fan of Imperial Stouts. I do like them from
they're
time
so
to time.
strong.
I like them in little tiny sips.
I mean, if you were having a marketing problem, you could pass this off as a double black IPA or something like that.
Because it's got some nice hops,
The
too.
bitterness is there. The hop aroma is there. There's this very distinguishable citrus
Yeah.
character to it.
Speaking of marketing, does it get sold year round?
The Santa's at my location, no, and the Santa's at Lost Abbey gets sold twice a year. They do Christmas in July and do the release of the barrel aged version, and then they have the regular version in the winter.
Because it
think
seems like a
Might be backwards.
marketing dream, doesn't it? It's just something that's just going to fly off the shelf in November and December, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they have like the best label from port. Yeah,
You never know each year if Santa's going to be blacked out or not.
You
It
mean like
varies from
blackface
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like passed out?
Completely blacked out.
Oh, right.
Black faced out. Yeah.
I mean, sort of, maybe not quite that, but yeah. All right.
I had
Any
a
of-
Santa's Little Helper this season for the first time in a while, and I like yours better. I don't want to cause any waves.
But Beardy likes Any other tricks to this beer with this kind of a high alcohol, but this great flavor? Like
Is
none
there
of us
like
are.
a sugar edition that we don't know about?
None of us are complaining.
No sugar edition. I try not to do that in the big dark beers because you do want to keep that body in there. And I think the carbonation is probably making it feel a little bit lighter. But it finishes really high, actually. The first time I had a beer, this finished at 6 Plato. First time I had a beer finish at 6 Plato, it was the oatmeal stout that won a medal. And I was like, that's ridiculous. But it was actually the second time I had
This does
brewed
not
that
taste
beer.
that sweet.
But
It just doesn't.
Yeah, it started out. I can't remember the starting gravity on it. But
So-
What about the
finishes
IBUs?
around 6.
What do you think is making it seem like not such a sweet imperial stout?
I'm guessing like the carbonation on this is really lightening it up.
Just that
a lot.
What are the IBUs, do you think, on this one? Do you know?
IBUs, possibly 50.
In the 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm not.
And what are
not
the
sure
hops?
Off the top of my head.
What are the hops? Do you know?
Hops in this one's Chinook.
Chinook. Just
Yeah.
all Chinook?
Chinook and Centennial.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that huge pine, like lemon pine.
I think that's at work, too. I mean, I do think you're right with the carbonation, but I think there's some of that, some really nice hop character that's at work, keeping it from being too sweet also. It's a good beer. I think we all want a pint of this
Great
one.
work.
And I'm glad there's not a pint available, because we would, by the end of the show, we'd be a mess.
That would be one of those 5-hour sessions.
Yeah. But I will come down to the location and have a pint, then I'll have a great time.
The location.
The location.
Yes.
Devin,
I will meet you at the location.
Devin, tell me more about your mom.
Yeah.
Like, is she hot? That was my impression of Justin in 3 hours from now.
Had we had a pint of this, absolutely. Or if the show just keeps going, Devin, you'll be invited back tomorrow. Well, it's great beer. People, so you know, you can go check out, any of the Pizza Port websites. Just go to pizzaport.com, right?
Yep.
Is that the
yeah,
website?
we've got our tap cams up so you can see what's on tap before you go if you want.
I think I even saw like some brewery cams too, right? Like you can look at what's happening in the rooms, or was it just tap? I clicked on something like what's happening now, and there were like 5 different cameras going.
Oh, if they're recording us, they
You didn't know about that. Oops.
Brewer's gone wet.
Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah,
And Devin's going to start wearing
Taking a wedgie on the brew.
Yeah, who needs that? That's a mess.
Oh, dude, it's so great. It's so easy to visit Solana Beach location on public transit. If you ever visit San Diego, you can hop on the train. You can stop there on your way to other stops, like, you know, Bag Beer. All these places are along the coaster.
Yeah.
And it's just this. It's literally across the street from the train tracks.
Okay, good to
so
know.
Easy.
I love
took
roller coasters.
I took the Pacific Coaster just the other day, so I didn't know. Now I know to just stop right there.
You can't drink on the coaster anymore.
You can't?
It's really sad. I think that just went through February 1st or something.
You know what? I remember. I think we did a news story on it. People talking about it, and it made me sad. They passed it, huh? What a bummer.
Yeah, very sad.
Yeah.
But then again,
I'm happy
I'm
about it
wondering
'cause it's
how we
your
got away
only
with it
chance-
for so long in the first place.
What a drag.
It's your only chance to sober up between some really rad breweries.
Yeah.
And Solana Beach is definitely high on the list.
Okay.
Is it close to where the NHC is going to be? Is it going to be easy to get from the hotel
So
to there?
that's basically like at the Town and Country. And our party, we're doing our BNA 10 party downtown. It's
If
a bit
you're-
up from there, isn't it?
If you're
Hop
anywhere
on the
close
coaster.
to like major transportation hubs like Old Town and downtown, then you can totally hop on the coaster.
Then it's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but you still take the Amtrak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're driving, that's like a 25-minute drive.
Okay.
From
Just
downtown.
figure out your tickets in advance because I was like 2 beers in when I tried to buy tickets and I found it extraordinarily confusing. So.
Oh, yeah.
And they're really not helpful at Amtrak when you
No.
try to buy coaster tickets from Amtrak. They're like, that's coaster.
I was
There was like oh man.
I was trying to catch the
They're
train.
not helpful at all. You kind of know what you're doing.
I almost missed it. I was sprinting. I stopped in San Diego and I was going to a wedding in L.A. And I'm sprinting for the train, and I have my suit for the wedding in one hand, and I got my bag in the other. And I'm running, and the train's sitting there at downtown San Diego, so like the last stop, whatever that one is.
Mm-hmm.
And the conductor, whoever he is, the train ticket dude, is standing outside the train. He sees me running from like a block away, and he's just looking at me and tapping his watch.
Yes.
And he's saying, keep running.
Yeah.
And he's yelling it to me, and he's not happy. Keep running, and he's shaking his head at me, and he's just like, "Just get on the train and hurry and be early next time." And,
but you
now-
need that, I think.
I'm
in your
running,
life.
Dad. I'm
I do.
running.
I know. Here's the trick, Nicole. If you're late and you got to jump on the train, download the Amtrak app. Super simple to buy a ticket anywhere you need to do it. Get
There
the
you go.
Amtrak app. Don't bother messing with the station or whatever else. Just get on the train, and then you just show it to him. It is Amtrak.
But it isn't.
It's Amtrak.
Wow.
Download the Amtrak app.
We are very excited about the differences.
It is. I bought it. I was on the exact same train, the Pacific Coaster. And they scan your little thing. I'm just saying, if you're ever late, just don't buy a ticket. Just get on the goddamn train.
Life advice from late Justin.
Listen, if there's one thing I can advise you on, it's how to do the
corners.
it's how to cut corners. Yeah.
How to recover from being late.
There's nothing stopping you from just getting on the train and playing dumb when the ticket person comes around and trying your luck.
It's true, but they're angry, and so it was the same guy who then came around and he's like, "So, you were a little late, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you already talked to me outside."
He was shaming you.
Yeah, and I'm like, "But look, I got my." But he was happy that all he had to do was scan my ticket because I had it on my phone. I at least, so I made some points.
Did you
Do you
say
think
it
that
loud
guy's
enough
like
so everybody
never
could hear?
ever late to anything ever once in his life?
Well, not only, so that's a question. My other question was, really, I'm the only fucking guy who's ever late for the train?
Yeah. I think the answer is yes.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Everybody's late in California.
Well, usually the train is late for you, so.
Yeah.
Or that's when he does.
What about when
shit.
they're late?
He was very offended. I mean, he was looking at me like, "Next time, buy yourself some time."
I'm picturing
Very offended.
I'm picturing the library investigator from Seinfeld, Bookman. Was his name Bookman? Yeah.
Yes.
Very serious man. Never
He
been
was
late.
very serious.
See, now in my brain, I'm envisioning you running against, like, beside along a moving train.
I was prepared for that. I was totally prepared for that because I would have had to, I had to wait it was like an hour and 20 minutes till the next train. I was going to jump on. I would have held onto the handle until the next stop, until Solana Beach.
That's literally what's happening in my brain.
Well, and if they didn't want you to do that, they wouldn't put handles there in the first place.
That's right. And the little place for your foot.
Right.
Would you have had to pay a ticket if you were holding on to the
No!
outside of the
You don't
train?
have to buy a ticket for that. There's no option for outside. There's coach and there's first class.
If you're riding on top, you're cool. You're free.
I figured they would have just given me cred and they'd let you go because I would have had a suit and a bag and a hand on the rail. They just let you go. Anyhow, download the app if you're ever late, just so you know. All right, how about this? We do have some more beer to try. We've also got a game to play. So let's do this. Let's take a little break, and then we'll try some more Pizza Port beer. Hopefully, Devin can keep hanging out a little bit.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to play a good game as well. I think we're back to a game we haven't played in a little while. I'm stoked to do it again. Beer, not beer, right?
Yeah, it's been like 6 months. I couldn't believe how long it's been.
I love this game.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is a fun game. All right, so Devin's going to hang out. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. We're going to grab ourselves a little break beer. We'll come back. We'll do beer, not beer, and try more of Devin's. Hang in there. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Limited time only. Enter promo code BNARMY during January and February for 10% off any Monster Mill. Don't settle for the second best grain mill. You want a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Monster Mills are tough, come in 2 and 3 roller designs, and are made right here in the USA from superior materials for longer lasting performance. Pick the mill that's right for you at monsterbrewinghardware.com and take Bevo's advice.
Trust me, it's always better to have a bigger tool than you think you need.
Monster Mills have the best warranty in the business. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit monsterbrewinghardware.com now and check out all the mills and mill accessories. Remember, during January and February, for 10% off any mill, enter promo code BNARMY.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Adventures in Homebrewing have the knowledge and expertise to craft their own gear and original recipes. Some of the things homebrewing.org creates and manufactures in-house are the Brutus brew stands and propane burners, the Serial Killer adjustable 2-roller grain mill with 7-pound hopper, custom stainless steel false bottoms designed to fit kegels, coolers, and mini-sized brew pots. And the BN Army receives 10% off their homebrewing.org orders when they use coupon code AIH10 at checkout. The brewers at Adventures in Homebrewing have designed a huge selection of original recipes for extract and all-grain brewing. Adventures in Homebrewing original recipes are tried and tested, proven to be of the best quality. And right now, Adventures in Homebrewing is shipping 24 of their best recipes for free. Visit homebrewing.org for the most current selection. Once you try one of Adventures in Homebrewing recipes, you'll keep coming back for more. And now, it's even easier with free shipping on these kits. And don't forget to use the current coupon code AIH10. Adventures in Homebrewing at homebrewing.org.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickmanstein?
Yes, J.P. Gore. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
My doctor, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. Gore, we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra-precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 of a degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J.P. Gore. We have beer to brew.
Hey, dude, you know what beer this is?
Oh, no, all the labels are falling off.
Yeah, or the ink is run.
Well, if it's a pale ale, you're good, but stay away from the quote-unquote Belgian.
Oh, man, this guy needs to get some grog tags.
Grog tags are reusable, write-on, wipe-off, commercial-grade bottle labels for your brew. The guys at Grog Tag are homebrewers. They wanted great-looking, sturdy labels for your bottles, buckets, carboys, kegs, and growlers. They also wanted a label that not only looks good, but can be easily removed and reapplied during bottling without that nasty glue residue being left behind. No residue, water-resistant, and ice chest approved. Grog tags stay on in water or an ice chest, and they stay legible. Visit grogtag.com to customize your label or coaster from dozens of different templates for free and see how awesome your bottles can look.
It's that pseudo-Belgian.
Yeah, we're getting him some grog tags, dude.
Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good. grogtag.com. A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
If you don't know Yeastman, you're missing out. White Labs Yeast Manager, Yeastman, is available free to any brewer. Yeastman is your direct link to White Labs' yeast production facility. Yes, you can check yeast availability, and yes, you can place an order, but Yeastman is much more. View yeast quality control and analytical reports. See your big QC Day entries and reports. Get access to the entire White Labs catalog, specials on overruns of freshly made yeast, and customized options for your account. Yeastman is the only real-time online ordering in the business connected directly to factory production. Yeastman is always on and always live. It's the largest online marketplace for specialty brewers' yeast and related products. Visit yeastman.com today and tap directly into White Labs' production facility. Gonna brew? Yeastman to the rescue.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping.
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
Segmented, demented, fermented.
It's the session.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the program. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out at the Hop Grenade, too. We got a good crowd out there. For the kickoff to our SF Beer Week, we got a lot going on here this week, so it's nice to have Devin and Pizza Port in here hanging out with us, feeding us some beer. A lot of beer.
Absolutely.
A lot of beer.
I haven't even touched what's on tap. I've just been drinking what she brought.
Same here, although
the best for last.
we just dove into the tap, didn't we? What did you give us, Devin?
This is Lucky Ducky Double IPA. It's 9.5% ABV.
Great.
Yummy.
You got a ride home, Jay?
Yeah.
A lot of Mosaic and Citra hops, as well as Simcoe Amarillo Chinook.
Wow. All right, we're going to talk about this beer. I haven't even tasted it yet. Give me one sec. Get ready for our game. We're going to play Beer, Not Beer, where we give you beer names and you tell us if it's a real beer or not a beer.
You forgot the or. Beer or.
No, it's just beer, not beer. I think that's what we always called it before. Yeah.
Beer.
Beer
Beer.
or not beer.
It's about the delivery.
Beer, not beer.
That's more
So-
range.
You don't need the or if you have the appropriate delivery.
It's beer, not beer.
So
Beer.
does announcer man need
Not
to
beer.
cut a new intro, then?
Yeah, probably so.
Well,
Is it an old intro or a new intro?
Well, the game isn't that old. It's from when
So
we-
it's the intro from
You're
before?
an old intro.
Yeah, if
Then
beer
maybe
or
I
not
did
beer
change
is
the name.
before, then
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't
Your
realize
mom's
that
an old
changed the name.
intro.
Yeah, she is.
All right.
She's a really old intro, actually. So, if you want to play 888-401 beer, do I have to take line one before we get into it? Or?
No, remember I was saying during the break the guy from New Orleans called for Mardi Gras? Now he's back to play the game.
Is he drunk from Mardi Gras?
He must be.
Okay.
He's called more than once. He's got to be drunk.
All right. So that means we have a couple positions left. 888-401 beer if you want to play beer or
Thank
not
you.
beer with us.
Couple positions left.
You're on the show. All right. So Lucky Ducky, you brewed this beer.
Yes.
That is on tap at my pub.
Yes.
I'm proud of that, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having it.
So it's an Imperial IPA.
Yeah.
It smells fantastic.
There's a magical Mosaic and Simcoe. I mean, Mosaic and Citra hops. There's Simcoe in there, too.
Yeah, a lot of good Mosaic. I love Mosaic. People will give me like a single hop Mosaic, and a lot of people don't like that. I like it. I know it's a weird hop.
It's very powerful.
But it is powerful, and it's super like earthy and strange, but I like it.
And the hops themselves, like when we got fresh hops in, we got fresh hop Mosaic, they have like this pattern on them, on the leaves, which I'm fairly certain is where the name came from, but they're really pretty.
Okay. Oh, I just tasted it, too. That's
Mom
good.
was really pretty.
God damn it, Nicole. Nicole's the one with all the your mom jokes
Nicole,
tonight.
were you doing extra sampling of the hand-bottled stuff, Nicole?
She had a lucky ducky at the break.
No.
What'd you say, 9%, 9.5%?
9.5. Yeah.
All right, passion fruit for sure actually comes through.
Huge
a little bit
passion
of,
fruit.
a little, this is a compliment. A little bit of grape drink comes out of this beer. Like full-on grape drink. I taste that, which I think is really nice.
What were you saying? The other one tasted like Tab?
Yeah, Tab. I'm kind of old school,
Justin knows all of his Ghetto-licious sodas.
I do. These are all my flavor descriptors. This is all I know.
This tastes like watermelon
Tab
for
and
Loco.
purple drink.
Yeah, there's like a little grape flavor in that too, which I think is really nice. It also does not finish too sweet or gnarly. I feel like I'll sound stupid if I use the word dry since it's such high alcohol, but it's a little dry.
It's a 10% rye. Again, I love rye. Like, if anything has rye in it, Bressy Ranch is like, more rye.
Bressy.
Yeah. Oh, Devin needs rye again?
Oh, another pallet of rye?
Bressy was like, you should use 10% rye. And I was like, oh, totally. You're so right, Bressy. Oh, my God.
So you think that helps with that sort of perception of dryness? Because what did it finish at, for example?
This one, 2.5. So it's pretty dry.
So okay.
But it still has a lot of rye in it.
For a 9% alcohol beer, it finished at 2.5.
Yeah, Cal Ale just rips it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really low mash, like 147. Like
Again, yeah, same low mash. The 10% rye hadn't done that particular percentage. This was a new beer that I brewed for double IPA and triple IPA Fest. I was like, oh, let's try a new recipe and new kind of idea I had about doing the 10% rye. And throw a bunch of delicious hops in it.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Now, you said Cal Ale just kind of rips through it. Is that a repitching? How many generations of Cal Ale will you use?
I'll do ideally 8. And usually I'll try to do something like double IPA at the end, like something that's going to really like massacre it.
Nice. Just to get rid. Look, you're going to die anyway,
just
Cal.
to make it worthwhile. And at that point, it's nice and robust and everything.
Good call.
And then, I mean, if it's an emergency, I'll use up to like Gen 10. Like if I really can't get a hold of something and I'm not brewing something really big or challenging for it.
Okay.
But typically, like 8 generations is
That's kind of by the book, right? Like even White Labs will say, like, hey, 8 generations, you're solid, and then give us a call.
Yeah, that's what I was taught at Pizza Port, and Lost Abbey does pretty much the same thing.
I like the idea of throwing it into a big-ass beer at the end, because you know that they're all there, they're happy,
Go out with a bang.
Out with a bang, exactly right. Well, it works in this one. And then you call for a new pitch.
And then I'll usually get a new pitch.
Do you get a new pitch from Bressy Ranch, or do you get it right from...
Both, actually. Traditionally, we've kept our yeast in buckets, which sounds gnarly, but it's...
Bressy Ranch has so
very
much
safe.
yeast in buckets. Oh my God, Bressy.
Well, the brewers are like afraid of getting yeast in kegs, which is kind of, it's a riskier situation, but Bressy will send it in kegs.
And the reason being they can clean a keg.
You can see inside a bucket, I think that's...
What? Yeah.
You can see the bacteria.
So they don't have any problem sending out all the beer in kegs.
Right.
No, but I mean, yeast is kind of a bigger deal.
It is, but the keg is just as clean, isn't it? I mean,
it should be.
Yeah. I mean,
you hope.
That's what a keg cleaner does. It'll clean and sanitize the keg.
Yeah, but you can't look inside it, right?
Did you hear her story earlier? I don't think they trust the keg cleaners there.
Yeah, right. But this
is...
So
you
this
never know.
But you can't see inside it, Tasties.
What are you seeing when you see inside the bucket?
Right. You can't see
the
if there's any
white side of the
contamination.
bucket.
I guess you're right. You can't see like microbial stuff, but you can see if there's any schmeg left. Whereas inside, what if the ball, whatever the clean, I don't know what the cleaner looks like, but what if it misses a spot?
Well, you and I were talking about the whole fallacy of cleaning kegs and putting beer in and setting it out in the first place.
To me,
and I think that's been a problem in the past,
and that's a big deal.
To me, a keg is a closed container, so to me, it'd be more sanitary and less risky to push the yeast out of a keg versus opening a bucket. And then lifting that into a fermenter, having to break the seal on the fermenter.
Right. No, that's crazy.
And dump it in.
I don't like doing it, but that's sort of, it kind of works out for various reasons.
Yeah, I mean, clearly
I don't have
it
a
works.
keg washer.
Right, yeah.
They're winning awards.
Right, exactly. They're winning awards and making great beer.
So, also, I used to say the same things because of how much it was beaten into my head, like this yeast must be pure and clean and don't open it up and don't. So I used to, all of those same things, except then there's the argument, if there's enough healthy yeast, it's going to outcompete anything. And, of course, you're still being careful. I'm not saying you throw it on the floor and you scoop it up. But maybe whatever tiny thing would get in because you opened the lid and poured it in, it's going to be out-competed.
Yeah. Why not? It has a defense system, whereas like straight wort or something doesn't.
There's an argument. If you're making an environment for healthy yeast, there's definitely an argument for that. But I think a lot of brewers aren't even able to do that. A lot of the time to make that healthy environment for the yeast.
But also, like when I went to that English brewery, a great brewery.
You forget the name though.
I always do. I got it. But I talked about it a ton of times. Colonel. In London, and they had these, they're open fermenters. And they weren't like the big square open ferment, not that it matters, but they were like a cylindrical fermenter, and the top was open, and I thought, what the hell are you doing? and it wasn't in a sealed room either.
Oh, really?
But there was fans, so there was sort of pressure going out of the room, and their beers were fabulous, and when I brought up this sort of same argument, the idea was, well, look, we're pitching healthy yeast into a healthy wort, and the yeast it just does its thing, and there's just nothing but pressure going out, nothing falling in because the pressure's going out. And anyhow, I'm just saying this.
Wouldn't you want a high pressure room so that nothing came in?
There is. That's what I said. The pressure's going out of the room. Yeah, there's like fans sort of going. I'm just saying it wasn't like some sealed laboratory room.
That would make
Anchor has those. They're open fermenters in a positive pressure room where they filter the air coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what keeps everything. So the air is clean.
Yes. But also positive pressure. Not that we're talking about the fermenters.
You want positive, not negative pressure, is what I'm trying to say.
I didn't say negative pressure. We're absolutely talking about positive pressure.
Yeah.
My point here still is the whole bucket method is, I'm saying it's fine.
There's something to be said for not putting pressure on the yeast, too. If it's in a keg and it does happen to get left out of the cold box for an hour by someone who doesn't know what they're doing, then you could have created, a high-pressure environment and killed a bunch of that yeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the bucket, it's always getting to breathe, and it's never going to be under any pressure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I used to make all these same arguments against it, and then, but the best brewers would come in here and kind of say the same things Devin's saying, and just don't worry about it. It's a healthy pitch. You're going to be fine.
I just want to break out in some David Bowie right now.
What does David Bowie?
I'm going to get my Freddie Mercury voice out and be like, under pressure.
No, we don't need that. No, we don't need that right
No
now.
Under Pressure song.
That's fine. Thank you. Thanks for playing.
So you get pitches from Bresty Ranch as well as directly from the yeast supplier.
Yeah, so you can get pitches from Bresty Ranch, as well as people share, like, in the community. I just did a lager with some yeast from Gordon Biersch, which is rad.
Nice.
Cool. They have the best yeast.
They do, don't they? Like straight from Weinstefan, right?
I don't know if there's this proprietary or if you can actually buy it, but it's nice to have it grown up for you and ready to go.
What'd you make with that?
Did you get it from the
Chuck
brew
Hill's
pub?
my first lager that I've ever made by myself.
Nice.
So I did a step mash and everything.
That's exciting.
It was really fun.
How did it turn out?
It totally worked.
Did you like it?
Turned out great. The yield was a lot better than it normally is with the step mash.
What were the steps?
125, 145, and then I get up to 160 during sparge. So I was like, I don't really need to do that step if it's going to get there anyways.
So do you have a jacketed mash tun? Is that how you did the steps? Or
I have a jacketed mash tun. I just did a really, really thick mash with, I usually lose approximately 20 degrees. So I started with 145 water, got my 125 mash as thick as I possibly could manage. And then I just infused it and stirred the mash again, like half an hour later, with 165 water, getting me to Actually, I went a little bit hotter. I think I did like 170 because I knew I wasn't going to have as much water to put in it. And got my 145 step. Held it there for like 40 minutes.
So do you have a hot liquor tank, or you just have water in the kettle?
No, I just have water in the kettle. I have a hot liquor tank, but it's more of a holding tank. It's got no heating element.
Okay,
so.
Dan Gordon will be proud of you that you actually did a step mash. We ask him every time. Maybe you've heard. We ask every time he comes in. Is it necessary? Fuck yes.
That's what I kept reading when I was kind of researching this and writing the recipe. People were like, "Yeah, it's worth it."
Yeah.
And it was a pain in the butt. And I also. Yeah, I did lots of stuff. I boiled the water beforehand, and I heard maybe that's not worth it. I don't know. I tried to do it right.
Okay.
in as much as I could.
I love a good check
With only
bills.
4 fermenters, how did you manage the tank space and the lagering period?
Because I'm here at SF Beer Week and taking it time.
It's happening right now.
Perfect.
It was
chill.
You know what? I'm fermenting right now.
You know what? I'm going to be in San Diego
Working
next
really
week.
hard.
Is there going to be if it's fermenting now, you're still going to age for
No.
another 3 weeks or something?
Yeah, it's going to have some time.
Damn
and then
it.
if I get really hard up on space, like if I really need to move things, and I've got some other brewers lined up so that they need to happen at such and such time. So
Okay.
I was like, ooh, I will kind of have a tank free.
Just a little window.
Yeah, a little window to do this.
That's great.
Yeah, so it should be all right.
I love seeing small breweries brew a nice lager.
Like once a year is I think all you're allowed.
Just squeeze it in, yeah. And they're like, Devin, watch your ass.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of time here.
Right.
They're going to know now.
Yeah. I like it, though.
Speaking of brews you have lined up, you've done a lot of collaborative brews lately.
Yeah, I did want to talk about Brewbies because that's coming up. That's February 14th, although...
That's right. You heard it correctly. Brewbies.
What is Brewbies?
February 14th?
Brewbies is Mel at Keep Abreast. She's been doing this festival for, I want to say, the past, 5 years or something. It benefits Keep Abreast. It's going to be at Bagby Beer. So if you happen to not be in San Francisco and be in San Diego, you should go to Brewbies.
Nice.
And I brewed a Goza for that, which was another interesting brew.
Okay.
I ended up using... Oh, well, let me finish with that. I did a Goza with Ladyface Alehouse, Serena at Ladyface, and Ting at Eagle Rock.
Oh, great.
And Mel. So we did a big collaboration Goza, and that'll be going on tap at Brewbies.
Tell us about the beer.
It came out really cool. I was going to do a sour mash, and then I got really sick that week. On a Monday night, I got sick, and I had this brew planned for Friday. And then, everything proceeded to go wrong.
Oh, no.
I was supposed to get Kolsch's from St. Archer. Tuesday, they called, and they're like, that yeast viability is shit. They were like, if you're not brewing with it tomorrow, you probably shouldn't.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. So that almost knocked it off the table. I called White Labs. They were able to, very, very last minute, provide some Kolsch's, which is awesome. Thank you, White Labs.
Beautiful.
And,
so you
then the
wanted to use
acidulated malt didn't come in. The delivery was supposed to come in Tuesday, and the grain guy was like, the acidulated malt didn't come in. They're out. I was like, oh man, this brew is not going to happen.
Everything's against you.
And I'm super sick. And I had to brew this beer on... I had to brew it that week in order for it to be ready.
What was behind your decision to use a Kolsch yeast?
You want to use a Goza. You want to use a clean ale yeast or a clean German ale yeast. So you can use Kolsch yeast. You could use a few other choices, but I knew Kolsch yeast was available and was going to be nice and clean.
Okay.
And then the Goza is a salt, coriander, tart, light beer.
Yeah.
I was kind of inspired by the Anderson Valley Blood Orange Goza.
I've had that, yeah.
I love that beer.
Yeah.
That's become
really good beer.
my go-to beer the last few weeks.
We had it on
buying
tap
six-pack
here,
after six-pack.
Yeah, I'm digging it. So that was the inspiration behind making this Goza, but hadn't done it before, and it was 60% wheat is the recommended amount. And then if you're not doing a sour mash, you can use acidulated malt and achieve the pH that you want to achieve. And it was it also, though, turns your mash really turbid. So between the wheat and the acidulated malt and me being super sick and having all these people there, I was mashing in and it was cement. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is going to be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to throw out a mash. This is going to be terrible.
Oh.
But I added in more and more rice hulls and it actually was totally fine.
Good
so
troubleshooting.
It was a fun brew day, but a hard one. I was nervous.
Have you tasted the beer yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
the beer is actually ready, but since we're releasing it, and we're doing 2 versions. I did one with pomegranate, inspired a little bit by the blood orange, and one just plain. So those 2 beers, Pom Poms is the one with pomegranate, and that'll be a pink beer.
Nice.
And then
Get it? 'Cause
Bongers
it's like boobs.
is the plain one.
Get that.
Nicole,
I'm filling for Doc now.
As if you have to explain boob jokes. Yeah. Which I would say the same thing to Doc. Doc, as if you have to explain boob jokes to us.
We get it.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. All right. And so that's being served where, just so everybody knows?
That'll be at Brewbies on February 14th, on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's
at
Day.
Bagby Beer.
Bagby.
But I think tickets are nearly sold out, so...
Okay. Well, then you have to buy
So,
scalped
buy 'em
tickets.
now.
or
Do it right
something. Yeah.
Another place you can get to on the coaster.
Yeah. You can stop
I
at
wish we
Solana
had the
Beach
coaster
beforehand.
I know. We sort of do. It just sucks. Like you can go from Martinez to Oakland on the Amtrak.
Yeah, and it's right next to so many great breweries.
Well, there's
Oh.
Creek Monkey right near the Martinez stop, so you can grab a beer there.
Creek
and
Monkey's
then,
Independent.
And then when you get off at Oakland, I don't know. There's something.
Independent is there, but only if it's Saturday.
Oh. All right. Anyway, I'm trying for our little Amtrak up here.
It's not Bagby Beer. It's not a 3-bar
No, that's true.
monster with awesome food.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the beer and food is so good there.
Good spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course it's a good spot.
Yeah, it's Bagby, right? Okay. All right. We're not going yet, Devin, but we got to play our game. I got people waiting on the line.
Let's go. Let's
And
play
I,
it.
I think it's time for beer or not beer.
Okay, where's my intro before
How
you
about-
pot everybody
Well, first
up?
of all, let me just make sure I got everything in order. For one, it looks like we've lost a contestant in our battling.
line 3 fall off?
Damn it, Beverly.
I did nothing.
Maybe that's the problem. Yes.
Whatever, I do more than you.
Maybe it's beer to nerd beer.
Bevo, you
run it together, and it's some sort of
I'm
weird
soliciting
German
another
phrase.
call.
All right.
Waiting.
So
Do
are
that.
you a call girl then, or what?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, let's play beer or not beer.
That's not a beer, stupid. That's a country in Africa.
I'm going to say that JP's Rubber Dick is not, in fact, a beer name.
You're an idiot. That actually is a beer. And now, beer or not beer.
That's right. It's America's new favorite game, beer or not beer. We're about to play where Moscow will give us a beer name, and our contestants have to tell us if it's a beer or not a beer. Do we help our contestants in this game, Moscow?
Well, we've played it 2 different ways. We've played it so that people have to get 3 in a row correct, and if they miss one, you just will go
Dump
on to the
them?
next one. Yep. Or we've played it so that they all stay on the line, and we go to everybody one by one and keep score.
Well, that doesn't make sense because it's a 50-50 chance, isn't it? So we'll do they stay on the line if they get 3 right.
Yeah. I
'Cause
like
if
it
we-
better that way.
Well, because if line 1 says something and we say you're wrong, and we go to line 2...
Yeah. It's better. Yeah, you got to get 3 in a row correct.
Yeah. All right, so we'll do
You
that.
run out of contestants.
Our first contestant today is Mike from Narlands, or at least he's hanging out in Narlands. Mike, what's happening, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, thanks for calling in and playing the game. And I guess you called in earlier having a good time. There was a marching band from Concord in New Orleans?
Oh.
Absolutely. Somebody from a high school from San Ignacio Valley High or something like that.
Just
but-
Ignacio Valley
Yeah,
High.
Ignacio Valley High. Yeah.
Yeah. So we live just a block from the parade route, and we were up there watching it yesterday. And this band, came down the street. And we have, our bands here in New Orleans, mostly African.
Whoa.
Or African American.
Sure.
And they like to dance around and get some soul going.
Mostly it's a
And then
bunch of
here
little kids
comes
with flies.
And here comes this totally white, non-soul band coming down the street. It was from Concord.
Yeah. Right.
That's pretty much
They were the whitest band I think we've had in a long time here in New Orleans.
Well, how was the music? Was it any good, or was that also pretty quiet?
It was staid and very on point, but not very soulful.
Did they play Beck instead of Beyonce? It was all it was just very non.
I don't remember that. So I was drinking too much beer, but Beyonce and the Grammys. I think Kanye needs to have a little RTO or TRO on him.
I think you're right.
I don't know
He's right.
Okay.
Just leave it at
You
that.
are right.
TRR.
All right, here's what we're going to do, Mike. Thanks for calling in, and we're going to read you a beer name. You have to tell us if it's a real beer or not a beer. You have to get 3 in a row correct, or we're going to dump you. And here's what we're going to do.
We're going to break up with you.
Right.
Devin is going to help you out. So if at any point you want to ask Devin's advice on whether it's a beer or not a beer, she's the one who's going to help you out. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, Moscow, give us our first beer.
Up, down, left, right, BA, start, select, brown ale.
Ooh, can I get a repeat on that?
Thanks, Mike. It's up, down, left, right, BA, start, select, brown ale.
Ooh, that's a toughie. I'm going to say not beer.
All right, good Nintendo reference.
Yeah.
Mike says not a beer.
That's beer. That's from Dogfish Head.
Oh, of course it's from Dogfish Head.
Too bad, so sad.
All right, Mike, I'll tell you what. I'm going to keep you on the line. You might get another chance, so just hang in there, will
Press
you?
1 and then press hold. Yeah.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
What a softie.
Yeah, as their lifeline, am I allowed to interject? Wait for their...
You're making
Not unless they ask for your help. Just settle down over there, Devin. We'll see if they... all right.
Did you know that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did know. All right. So contestants that are hanging on the line, Devin knew that one. Beav, is it still Jared on 2?
Yeah, everybody in the original list is back.
It's still there. All right. Hey, Jared, what's happening, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Jared's calling in from Maine. You know the rules of the game?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, Moscow.
Ball tickler, Baltic porter.
And now, Devin is your helper if you need any help, by the way.
I'm going to go with not beer.
All right. Just because I'm curious, Devin, what do you think? And that's his final answer. I'm just curious what you think.
You know, I have not heard of it, but I like the name so much that I'm hoping that it is.
You're hoping it's a beer. And if it's not, we might see it soon. All right. So Jared says not a beer, correct?
Jared's right. Yeah, not beer.
All right.
All right, so it's available, Devin.
All right.
Yeah, Devin, feel free
You know
to use
what I'm
that.
making next?
I want a little credit on the label, though, please.
Yeah. Really? Do you really want credit on the ball tickler label,
I
Moscow?
don't. No,
Dedicate it to you.
Because I'll tell you what, I will have our art department go to work to give you credit on Devin's new label.
Devin, are you single right now?
Yeah.
Because you won't be for long if you make a beer called Ball Tickler.
I'll be lining up.
The label should just be Moscow's face, and then have ball tickler underneath it.
Great.
Ball tickler. All right, Jared gets another one.
Yep. All right, Jared. It's next one's Badonka Dunkle.
No.
Named after Nicole.
Damn straight.
Not beer.
All right, Jared's saying not a beer. Devin, what do you think?
I think that is a beer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Not only is it beer, it's from port.
It's from... Jared said no, right?
Yes, he did.
All right, Jared. I'll keep you on hold in case we get to come back to you, so hang in there. All right, let's go to Ken from Oregon. Ken, what's happening, brother?
How you doing?
We're doing very well. Are you ready? Do you know the rules?
I know the rules, yeah.
Now, hang on a second. What is Badonka Dunkler? How's that beer?
I didn't recognize it as a port beer. We've got a Junk in the Trunkle, which is a good one.
Clearly
And
the same creative mind.
It seems like someone else would have done something like that.
Well,
at
Scott
some
has
point.
been known to exaggerate. He might have seen that and then gone, oh, it's Badonka Dunkle. It's fine.
But I liked Badonka Dunkle
12 years ago,
I'm
it
not
was-
saying it's not.
Yeah, 12 years ago, it was in the pub for 10 minutes.
It's
You didn't know that?
It's actually from Solana Beach.
Oh, no.
Sure.
Yeah, from 2009.
Okay. You
See?
might have made
There
it.
you go. 12 years ago.
It's a Dunkelweizen.
That was before I got there.
Okay.
2010.
All right, give Ken a beer. And Ken, if you need any help, Devin's here to help.
All right. Fuck art, let's dance. Belgian triple.
Let's go with Devin on this one. What do you think?
I think I'm always saying yes to all of them now, but I think that that's too weird not to actually be a beer name. Like, I don't think you would have come up with that off the top of your head.
I think Devin's
Let's go
right, too.
Let's go not beer.
So, wait. Devin's saying it's a beer.
Devin's saying it's a beer?
It's a beer. She thinks there's
I
no way
think-
Moscow made that up.
That's a fair point.
Moscow is an artist.
Yeah.
By some standards.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So Devin's saying it's definitely a beer.
So let's go with beer.
It is beer, yeah. That's from Tuul in Denmark.
Oh, nice.
Nice work. Devin comes through. Ken's got one.
Audrey Hopburn IPA.
God damn it. First of all, if it's really a beer, I'm angry about it. Just on principle.
Obviously.
But Ken, it's your vote, or you can go to Devin.
Let's go not beer.
Says it's not a beer. Devin, what do you think?
I hope it's not a beer.
Me too.
It's definitely a beer.
Audrey Hopburn.
Much to
I hope it is a
go
beer.
ahead.
yeah, much to everyone's dismay. That's a beer. That's from Great Lakes in Ontario, Canada.
Good job, Great Lakes.
All right, Ken, don't worry. I'm going to keep you holding on there, and we might come back to you. Now we're on to Captain Scotch. Captain Scotch is on the line. You know the rules, Captain?
Yes, I do.
All right, Devin's your helper if you need it. Moscow?
Stupid, sexy Flanders, Oud Brun.
It's a long name. Stupid, sexy Flanders, Oud Brun, Captain Scotch.
Stupid, sexy Flanders.
Why wouldn't it be a Flanders Red?
Man, it should be. Well, what does Devin say?
I mean, I know for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. If you know, you're the helper.
It's definitely a beer.
Devin says she knows it's definitely a beer, Captain. You going to go with that?
I will defer to the expert.
All right. Moscow.
That's beer. That's from Sun King.
All right. Devin knows her beer. All right. What's next?
Optimus Prime Double IPA.
I'm pretty sure yes.
All right. Captain says yes.
That's beer. That's from Legacy Brewing in Pennsylvania.
All right. One more, and Captain Scotch can win it all here tonight. And by all, I mean like a T-shirt or some shit.
Maybe.
All of the T-shirt.
Or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm owed a T-shirt.
Are you already owed one?
Yeah.
You might actually get it
See,
this
JP,
time.
I don't even get to yell at you about this anymore.
Fuck, no, you don't.
Unless he's like, I'm owed it from 2012.
That's why I'm smiling. I don't give a shit.
2 weeks. Only 2 weeks.
2 weeks, Bevo. 2 weeks.
I know. I talked to him about it already.
All right.
Come on, Bevo.
Yeah, Bevo.
All right. Here's your chance.
You're my boy, Blueberry Wheat.
God.
Wow.
Huh.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah, we know. We know. Nicole, we get it.
All right. You're my boy, Blueberry Wheat. What do you think, Captain Scotch?
Do I get a second from Devin, or is it
Absolutely, yeah. Devin's...
Oh, man, this is so much pressure.
Yeah. the winning decision.
I believe that it is.
Okay.
Devin says yes. It's a beer, Captain.
Not 100%, but I think so.
No.
If I were playing and it were all on the line, I'd say yes.
Well, I either get a shirt from them or a shirt from you.
Or nothing.
I'm going not beer. Not beer.
All right, he's going against Devin, and he's saying it's not a beer. Moscow?
If only you'd gone with Devin. That's beer. That's from House Sound Brewing in British Columbia.
I'm on your side. Why would you? Yeah.
All right, Captain, I'm going to put you on hold. Don't worry, you're not done yet because nobody has won. So we're going to go back over to Mike. You still got beer names going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'll go back to Mike. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let everybody just pick up where they left off. That means Mike still has to get 3 right, Jared 2, Ken 2. If it gets all the way back to Captain Scotch, he still only has to get 1 right. So I'm trying to make it easy on you guys. But Mike, you still need 3 right.
All right.
Go ahead, Moscow.
Gary Brucey, Wildale.
Oh, I hope so. God, I hope so. And I hope he comes and does an event at the Hop Grenade. Gary Brucey, Wildale.
All right, can I ask a friend or
Absolutely,
phone a friend, or...
Devin's here to help.
I hope that that's a beer name.
All right, then I'm going with Devin.
That's not beer.
Oh, Moscow comes up with another good one, though.
I will.
I liked it, though.
Our general manager, Kevin, suggested that should be brewed with nuts.
Absolutely. Lots of nuts.
Or bananas.
All right. Jared, that puts you back in the hot seat. You got to get 2 right to win it all. Go ahead, Moscow.
Yeastus Christ Super Sour.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I sure can.
Can you sing it?
Yeastus Christ Super Sour. That was me singing.
Devin, what do you think?
Devin, he wants to know what you think.
For some reason, I think that's made up. I'm going to go no.
By the Jew!
All right, he's agreeing with Devin.
What do you say? Not beer?
No, he's agreeing that it's not a beer.
That is beer.
Damn!
That's from another one from To Ul in Denmark. Very clever with their names there in Denmark.
All
Getting
right.
worse at this.
Hang in there, Jared. It could come back to you.
Cool with their To Ul.
All right, we're back to Ken. Ken, you got to get 2 right. Moscow, go for it.
The Great Big Kentucky Sausage Fest Brown Ale.
What does Devin think?
Don't we all want to know?
Yeah. He doesn't want to know if it's beer or not beer. He just wants to know what you think.
I'm going to thumbs up that.
She's not saying it's a real beer. She's just thumbs upping it. Yeah. All right, she says real beer.
I'm going to say not beer.
All right, Ken says not a beer.
It is beer. That's from Against the Grain in Kentucky.
All right, hang in there.
Wow.
Thanks.
It's not over yet.
Okay. We're back to Captain Scotch. Now, Captain, you've got the best chances. You only need to get 1 right. All right?
Yeah, all right.
Go ahead, Moscow.
Poochie's Snout Stout.
Poochie's Snout Stout.
Poochies.
Poochie.
Like as in a dog. Like pooch. Like Poochies.
I don't really like saying poochie.
It's weird. It's weird. It's not It's not good marketing.
No.
Poochie Snout Stout.
I'm kind of offended myself. What does the expert think?
Devin?
I'm going to hope that it's not.
Yeah.
And go thumbs down on that.
Yeah, but all those San Fran poochie bars that you can...
What?
Dog.
There's some dog bars.
Oh, where you can bring it. I was like, I don't even know where this is going. Oh, I see. That's true. We do have a lot of dog bars.
I know where JP's going with that, but...
Poochie Poor JP. Didn't say a word.
That's a shit.
Poochie Snout Stout. Real or not? Beer or not beer?
I'm going no.
That's right. It's not beer.
There you go! Yeah. Captain Scotch wins it all. All right.
Congratulations.
Well done, sir. Now we'll get you 2 shirts, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or no shirts. Still.
We're really not sure.
All right. Well played, Captain Scotch. Thank you. And thanks to all of our contestants. Oy, that got weird. Thanks to all of our contestants today. Good names, Moskowitz. Some of them really should be beers. And
what was the one you liked?
And some of them
Ball Tickler, Baltic Porter.
Yeah.
Have you brewed
Coming soon.
Have you brewed a Baltic Porter yet?
Yeah. I haven't.
Okay, perfect.
I've got some lager yeast right now, but I'm only allowed 1 per year.
So we might have to wait a year. Listen,
Tell him it's not a lager.
You have a good chance of winning the Brewing Network's Beer of the Year in 2016 if you have to.
I'll be voting for you.
Enough and we'll vote for it.
Yeah, we don't even have to taste it. And the winner, Ball Tickler.
Devin's like, that beer ended up really infected. I don't know how I won.
Yeah.
Nate's a really big fan of that beer.
All right, well done. Bevo, just send an email to bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com. You'll get your prize. And well played, Devin. Good advice you gave to everybody.
Yeah.
Was it Captain Scotch that you tried to hand the victory to around earlier?
Yeah. He went against my advice.
Yeah. Boo. I don't know how to drop these calls. There we go. All right. I think that about does it for us, doesn't it?
Yes.
Time for us to finish our beers with Devin. On or off the air. I don't really care.
Cheers.
And get out of here. Devin, thanks so much for being on the program.
Thank you.
You're sticking around for a couple days in San Francisco, or you got to go back to work?
No, going back tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So not much SF Beer Week for you.
Came up on Friday, so
Okay.
had some fun.
Got a little weekend fun. What'd you do at the weekend? Did you go to the bistro?
Yeah, went to the bistro and got there just in time for the announcements. Got to try some good beers.
That's
double,
the
triple IPAs.
I forget. Is it the IPA or the double IPA fest?
Double IPA and triple IPA.
Oh, it's both now.
I think IPA is later, and I can't remember
I think
how
you're
much
right.
later. Like a month, maybe.
Okay.
IPA was so 2-3 decades ago. We're on to double and triples.
Did you enter any beer in that this year?
Yeah, this beer was entered in the double IPA.
Oh, nice.
And then Sippy Cup is entered in the triple IPA.
Okay, that's a good name.
They're all very like childish names.
Yeah.
It's like, yep.
Well done.
Like ball
Strong
ticklers.
beers. Like ball
Soon
tickler.
to be.
I like that I mean, that's a little childish.
I'm a simple woman.
I like that the TTB doesn't mess with you. Like, oh, you can't market to children with Sippy Cup.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that could be bad.
Yeah. Like, kids don't know what a Sippy Cup is anyway.
You couldn't-
Parents know.
You couldn't package it and sell it like
Yeah, but you can
in
do
a
that.
supermarket, but
Your
you can
pubs
do it
get
at the
free reign.
That's
a little
good.
bit.
That's good.
For now. Yeah.
What else did you go to this weekend? Anything?
Went to just some other like the meeting of the guilds.
Okay, yeah.
That was cool. I'd never been to Zeitgeist before.
That's a good bar.
Yeah, it was really good. I
Nice
wish
place
it
to sit
wasn't
outside.
like there's so many people there. So I'd love to go back another time.
Yeah,
and
Zeitgeist
just
is
chill
cool.
on that patio.
You should do an event there. It's a good spot.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So someone lights up next to you.
There's some weed smoking at the Zeitgeist.
Yeah,
That's true.
cigarette smoke.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Oh, cigarettes there too? Oh, yeah. It's a punk bar. You can do whatever you want. There's some charm in that. You can still do whatever the fuck you want. I kind of like that. Zeitgeist is a good spot, though.
Zeitgeist was cool. Rare Barrel has some great beers.
Oh, did you go to Rare Barrel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been before. I was here like a month ago.
Yeah.
Only some of their beers are great. From what I hear.
We should mention for folks that might not have seen it, and for Devin, who almost certainly didn't, that we gave the Rare Barrel the Beer of the Year on the awards show that we do yearly.
The only award that means anything to us. All the other ones are
The beer of
retarded.
the year that we only give out once a year.
Yeah, and we actually gave it to them for every beer they make, just because we couldn't decide on one. They're all stellar. And we got a package unannounced in the mail, I think on Thursday, that was every single beer that they've made to date.
That's rad.
Along with a letter, a wax-sealed letter, a Rare Barrel wax seal, and it was just, here, you like the beer of the year? Here you go.
And by we, Scott means him at his house.
Yeah, it is in my
And-
fridge.
What is that?
He's not
25
going to
bucks?
share them with any of us.
It's jacked up.
Yeah,
Luckily,
you gave me one, and I set it aside, and it's now not where I put it. You did.
Bebo, you left it at room temperature, baby. I took it and put it in the fridge.
Then I take back the dick.
Thank you.
At least in this case, I don't think they all fit at Scott's house for too long. So
Oh, no,
maybe
they do.
we actually will get them.
They fit.
He'll make room.
He bought a new fridge. Yeah. He's like, my dad gave me a fridge. They sent. That was actually really amazing. They sent us every beer they've ever made, basically, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Isn't Sorcel there?
And yes, Alex, co-founder Alex, wrote on the label all of the names. He wrote it's pronounced this way, and with accents over the E, pronounced and sorceled.
Doesn't matter. We're still not going to say it right.
Right.
Yeah, he wrote them all out phonetically, but not very well. I sounded them out. Didn't help.
I still maintain,
Kinda stupid.
fuck them and their stupid names. I don't care how nice they are to us. It's stupid names.
And they signed it Rare Bear, BEAR.
Nice.
Hot.
Oh.
That's endearing.
Rare Bear. There are little Rare Bears.
They're so cute.
There are little Berkeley Rare Bears.
Adorable.
That's how I'm going to refer to them from now on. All right. Well, Devin, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us and sharing beer. That was great.
Of course, thank you.
Now I got to come to your place and drink some more beer.
Please.
It's all very good. So we had some fresh stuff out of the bottle. We got some fresh stuff on tap. If you want to come try some Pizza Port beer, it'll be here probably all week long. We'll have at least one of your beers on tap, and then we'll put a bunch back on Sunday when we do our All-Stars, because they definitely fit under that category. We've got a Nitro beer of yours even, or of Pizza Port, rather. I don't think it was yours specifically. But it's like an English pale ale that you guys put on Nitro.
It's good. That's what I'm drinking.
County Line, I think.
Okay, there you go.
That's out of San Clemente. Great beer.
Beautiful. So come by the Hop Grenade and try some Pizza Port beer this week. Tomorrow night we got Society Brewing Company in here, and then Wednesday we got Cheese, and Thursday we got Schmaltz, and Friday we got Firestone. We got lots of stuff happening all week long. This was just the sort of kick it off with Devin and Pizza Port. So thank you again for being here and sharing the beer. And did I miss anything, Moscow?
No, we're back on the air next Monday with Kelly Taylor. He's of Kelso Beer Company, and he heads up the New York City Brewers Guild. So for your East Coast beggars, there you go.
Beautiful. And don't forget, we got lots of other shows. Dr. Homebrew airs on the BN a couple times a month, and we've got the Sour Hour that airs every month. We've got Jamil's show, which is Brewing with Style, and then also Brew Strong with John Palmer. There's all sorts of, when you get tired of us.
Right.
Which is difficult.
It's tough to do. I mean, we haven't done it yet.
We've got lots of other shows. Yeah, we haven't gotten tired of us. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
I'm not tired of you, JP.
No, I'm not tired of you either.
It's been nearly 10 years, and you're as handsome as ever.
I feel like more handsome.
I feel like at our anniversary party, we should treat it like a romantic anniversary and all buy each other gifts and talk about the things.
That would actually be nice.
I'll send out a vine of Justin and JP making out later.
Oh, that's old news.
We should have a table on a stage, like low lit, and then we just go, and then we have a candlelight dinner while everyone just stands there and goes,
Rose
what the
petals?
fuck is going on?
We don't, no presentation whatsoever.
Nothing.
Just
soft chat to ourselves.
On stage at BNA 10.
Yes.
That's a lot less work than doing the band, so I'm kind of into it.
Good.
Should I wear a skirt, do you think? Or
no.
Devin, do you have any heels I could borrow, maybe?
Absolutely.
A nice blouse?
A pantsuit, I think, would be fine.
Oh, I could do pants.
Yeah.
A pantsuit.
Yeah.
Now we're back to the 80s again.
Right.
I love a good pantsuit.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Lord. I have Jacob from Cincinnati on line.
Jacob.
He wants to tell you how awesome he thinks you are and that you made his entire life better.
I better take this phone call, guys. I mean,
I thought that giant ego
This
of
guy
yours
sounds
needed-
like he knows what he's talking about.
Jacob must be really sober.
Jacob, what's happening, brother?
Hey, buddy. How are you guys?
Oh, just great.
Stellar, Jacob. How are you?
It's going to get creepy.
It's getting better because oh my gosh, the voices. But the beer.
Like the others.
Okay. So I had a crappy night, but
how's the ecstasy?
I listened to what?
Just carry on.
Yeah,
Go
don't
on.
worry.
Let the man talk.
Okay. So I left my lights on at work, and then I got stuck at work for like an hour, and so they jump started my car. But I listened to the Brewing Network, and it made me feel better.
Oh, so that's nice, isn't it?
You guys are the best. I couldn't do it without you. And then, so I finally get home in Cincinnati at 11 o'clock. And so I'm like, I'm going to call in. And so I have to, drink a couple. I can't not drink beer and call in.
Sure, that would be
so
wrong.
I had 3 IPAs and a sour within the last 30 minutes.
Wow.
And they were delicious.
In the last 30 minutes.
Wow. No wonder he loves us.
You're feeling better now, huh?
What IPAs did you drink?
Let's see. 2 Sierra Nevada Pale Ales.
Okay.
So
Pale
a Sierra Nevada Boomerang. And a local sour from Rivertown. You guys had them on a couple years ago. They were good. They're really good.
And the sour beer was nice?
Yeah, it was a Flanders Red, and I really liked it.
How did it make you feel? Did you feel good? Happy or what?
It made me feel warm inside.
Okay,
that's what I'm supposed to.
Nice.
Are the lights still on your car right now?
Yeah. Good question, Beard. Yeah.
I'm home now, so...
but did you turn the... All right. Well, I'm glad you made it home safe. That's a positive.
You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for the phone call.
All right, yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers.
man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the phone call.
See, it's hard to make too much fun of him. He's very sincere.
I just want to hug him.
I know. At the end, he's like, I was lost and now I'm found.
Jacob, if you ever come to NHC, just come over and I'll give you a big old hug.
There, just Nicole will give you a big hug.
Let me just clarify: Nicole is short and thin.
No movie.
Beverly is also short but taller than Nicole and not as thin.
Right.
I have larger breasts. I will not hug you.
However,
you will feel warm on the outside after I cut you.
Both do have badonkadonk, so don't confuse that.
Mine is from fat. Nicole's is from working.
One's badonkadonk, one's junk in the trunk.
I see. Yeah. I always mix that up.
You do.
One can twerk, the other
We're
can't.
junk in the trunkle here, too.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I don't know which one can twerk. Which one can twerk, Beardy?
I thought that's how it
Weekend, twerk it out.
What?
I thought you needed
junk and not badunk.
Right, exactly. I thought you needed more junk than badunk.
Shut up!
God damn it!
Fuck!
Let me just tell you, nothing about this twerks.
I don't know. I'm not buying it.
I haven't found a diet that twerks for me.
So bad.
I also do need to mention that we've never had Rivertown Brewing on the show.
Yeah, I didn't remember a Rivertown.
Scott,
Although
they
I don't
were on
remember
a couple
anything.
Years ago,
so.
they were really good.
Right.
That's our best reviewed show.
You can't just let him have it.
It sounds like a review of mine. Yeah, I went to this place and I had a beer from a thing and it was okay.
Yeah. And it really wasn't very not good.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say I'll look into booking them, but you're right. They were just on, so fuck it.
See?
There you go. All right, so let's get out of here. Are we done?
Yes.
Well, we have Twitter game that we didn't play in the first part, but now we have the results.
How do we have results of a game we didn't play?
Well, because I
posted
I
it.
still push it on Twitter.
Oh, that's nice
I was wondering if it got canceled.
So what was the game? Yeah, good job.
Is it brought to you by anybody?
No.
Okay, great.
By your mom.
Cool.
It's brought. Yes, our Twitter game is brought to you today by Ball Tickler Porter, the new beer from Devon.
Absolutely.
The future release.
Yes, coming to a brewery near you.
Well, I thought since apropos of nothing, this week is SF Beer Week. So I was wondering what Doc isn't here, obviously. So I thought maybe he's out partying.
I'm channeling him.
Nicole, stop
I'm channeling him.
Nicole, stop
for once.
And by the way,
stop it.
She is channeling him. If you think about it, she's right.
I'm about to channel Roger right now. So I want to know what Doc's SF Beer Week survival mode is. What's his survival guide? How's he going to survive this stupid 13 days of beer drinking?
How did you write this in 140 characters? Specifically, when you put out the
What
game.
did I say specifically?
Yeah, I'd like to know that.
SF Beer Week survive.
Question mark.
And the Twitter sphere was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm going to dig through and figure
Well, I'm
this
just
shit
curious
out.
because it's a little. I mean, I get it, but that seemed like a lot of words.
Well, I mean, I didn't write all of the words, but I like to lead into everything, you know. That's how I do
All right,
things.
what were the answers?
No, now I'm going to figure it out. Now we're going to sit here, and I'm going to
Until
scroll
you find
back through.
it. Yeah. Wow, you got a lot of responses, huh?
I can't figure it out. Okay, so the responses are, this is from Brooks Edmond. He says, Doc will become so inebriated, he's unintelligible and won't shut up. In other words, business as usual.
Yeah.
Craft Beer Culture writes, Doc's SF Beer Week is the same as usual, gets drunk, slurs, and relies on others' generosity to stay alive.
What do you mean?
Kelly Wingert says, Doc doesn't need a survival plan. He's made it this far without killing himself. Doc's indestructible. Which
That might be accurate.
I feel like Doc wrote that.
Yeah. You might, yeah. Signed, not Doc.
Yeah. On Twitter, he's known as Kelly. Nat Hudgens Haney says, compared to Burning Man, SF Beer Week might as well be a detox.
You know what? That's another good point.
Pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
Austin just writes, he brings his wife.
Ouch!
Ooh. Yeah, she's not a lot of fun.
Very sobering.
No.
It's kind of
Not a lot of fun.
Von
That was the
Brewski
most
says,
uncomfortable
who
liver I've
cares?
ever
It's
had.
not like he'll be sober enough to remember if he ever had a plan anyways.
Might be true there.
Might be true as well. Sean Carney says, daily Sex in the City marathons and Ben & Jerry's.
Okay. I don't know.
You got to recover. I mean, I don't know, man.
Yes.
Austin Pushkar writes, a liver transplant.
Yeah, he doesn't need that. He's pretty solid.
And last but not least, our own Terrence Green says, spend less time drinking and more time motorboating.
He would like to do that. However, I don't
He's
think
too short.
And he's too drunk.
He could, stomach boats.
He
He
can't
can,
stomach
motorboat.
boat.
Yeah.
Stick your
He could motorboat me and you and our fat stomachs is what he could do, is what you're saying.
And that's it. There you go. Results.
I don't know. I remember some of them being good.
One, not an inebriated one.
The indestructible one is pretty good.
Yeah.
The detox one's pretty good as well.
The slur one was pretty good.
I like that one, the Detox, and the Burning Man one. Those are the three I like.
The Burning Man one is the detox one.
Oh, then I voted
There
for
you
it
go.
twice, apparently.
That's the one.
All right.
Good job, man. There you go.
All right, send an email to bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com, and sometime between now and 2016, you'll get a prize.
Maybe.
Don't turn into Never mind.
Well,
No, actually.
I sent things out.
No, I'm usually pretty good. However, general announcement to anybody listening who has won this game in the past, I haven't gotten any emails in a couple of weeks
See,
from Twitter
that's my
winners.
fucking problem.
It's their own
think-
Y'all need to email me if
People
you want
think-
anything.
People think that they email you, and then they don't, and then they cuss you out in email, and then you go, I didn't get anything from you.
And then I cuss you out.
Yeah, and then it's like, I didn't do shit.
All right, Bevo. That's Beeevo.
There are 2 E's.
At the Brewing Network.
It's amazing how many people go, hey, tell Bevo I said hi.
It's Bevo.
I've been listening for 10 years.
Yeah.
Do I need to create every spelling for the email and forward them all to Bevo? Bevo.
Yes. Bevo and Krusty are my favorite.
There's Devo, there's Devon, there's Bevo.
Today.
Yeah, gotta get them all in there. All right, good game. I'm glad you played it without us, JP. I like that.
Well, I do that all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. You just don't know.
Or ask.
Right. Or care.
Or give a shit.
JP's always playing with himself over there.
And a good job of it.
Thanks.
All right, so we will see you next week. And Devin, we'll see you next week, too. You're invited back.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
New co-host.
You don't have shit. Yeah, you don't have shit to do. You got a lager brewing over there. Right. You got a couple weeks to wait around.
Yeah, and we got 2 bathrooms in each meeting. So...
All right, let's get out of here. We're going to go drink more Pizza Port. We'll see you next week. JP, do your thing.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Devin from Pizza Port Solana Beach in San Diego territory brought loads of IPAs and tasty beers to us, and we thank her for that. Follow JP on Twitter at Major Jip and find out why. Just why. Warren was here, still looking like a total, complete asshole. For some good beer insight and homebrew info, follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. Production direction on the session has been Pushy Jack. Today's show has been produced by Scott Moskowitz. JP had a time. Bevo was questioning her entire reality. And your host was Justin Crossley. Be sure to find the...
Shut up, Beardy.
Didn't we fire Beardy?
Yeah. JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and winning the race. JP does great as his charity.